You make everything brand new, everything brand new. Butterflies in my belly, Obina Somo. Hileme Obina Somo. Obina Somo. Butterflies in my belly. Yeah. Purer than gold, whiter than snow, deeper than the ocean, wider than the sea, higher than the mountain. You're my everything. You are great. You are kind. Oh, Daddy, in you I put my trust. You walk again. For everything I am, I owe to you. Obinigwe, there is nothing impossible or too hard for you to do. You are bigger than what we call you. You're bigger than our problems, bigger than the pain.
Although it can't describe how awesome you are, it mighty God in battle, in your name, extraordinary God. Look around to the clouds, you made them. Look around, see the seas, you made them. All too hard for you to do, Jesus.
Oh, Daddy, in you I put my trust. You walk in you. For everything I am, I owe to you. Obinigwe, there is nothing impossible. All too hard for you to do. You are bigger than what we call you.
Oh, Daddy,
in you I put my trust.
You walk again.
For everything I am, I owe to you. Obinigwe, there is nothing impossible. All too hard for you to do. You are bigger than what we call you. You are bigger than. You are bigger than my problem. Bigger than my problems.
You are bigger than
never fell. You are the covenant keeping God. Okay, more. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God. Covenant keeping God. Okay, Jehovah. You are the covenant keeping God. You are the covenant keeping God. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God. Okay, more. Okay, more. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God. Okay, more. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God. Jehovah is your name. You're the only living God. Oh, Okaka, 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 Chimama. There is nothing you cannot do. You are the covenant keeping God. You are the covenant keeping God. Agents of your sick, yes, you never ever die. Oh. Okay, more is your name. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God. Okay, more. You are the covenant keeping God.
Kingdom from everlasting to everlasting. You're the beauty of all creation. I cry, holy, holy, Lord, you reign. This is who I call you. Alpha and Omega. I sing hallelujah to the King of glory. This is who I call you. My Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. Tribe of Judah, you're still the reason for my living. You're the one who works and needs to come. All creation bow before you. Lord, I praise you, make them quiet. You're the glory in my song. Lord, I worship, yes, I worship. You are the living God. Alpha and Omega, Alpha and Omega. I worship you today. Alpha and Omega. Yes, I worship you. I lift my voice to you. There is no like you. Like you. Alpha and Omega. Worship you today. Worship you. Alpha and Omega.
I testify of your truth. She carry me as a gift. Odogu, Odogu. Yesterday, today, forever. You never change, unchangeable God, oh, unchangeable lover. Look how you turn my life, how you turn my life around, and wipe my tears, unchangeable God.
Serving you up with the freshest gospel vibes.
Unchangeable sacrifice. Jesus, 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 that man of Galilee, always doing good. Always doing good. Jesus, 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 that man of Galilee. You're always doing good. You're always doing good. I thought you faithful, faithful in all of your ways. Nothing remains. Resurrected Jesus, you have done it all. Nothing remains. Exalted Jesus. Yesterday, today, forever. You never change, unchangeable God. Unchangeable lover. Jesus. Look how you turn my life. How you turn my life around and wipe my tears. Unchangeable God, oh, unchangeable sacrifice. Jesus, 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 that man of Galilee. You're always doing good. That's it. You're always doing good. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. The man of Galilee. You are. You're always doing good. Yes, you are. You're always doing good. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. The man of Galilee. You're always doing good. You're always doing good. You deliver all his favor. The man of Galilee. You're always doing good. You're always doing good. My Jesus, my Jesus, my Jesus. Galilee, Jesus with the Holy Ghost, and He went around doing
We ain't stopping until we see heaven on earth. On earth. Serving you up with the freshest gospel vibes.
Yamiwe ime frimo Yesu fidye mami Yetu amana mami Yekantana kumiso se Himi ye dawa brabo imu Sumwe nye yamiye Sine Free makume wina
What a God we serve. Good morning. Which part of the globe, wherever you find yourself. This is Mpɔtam Morning Show on Papalo Radio with Papalo Perfect. We're streaming live on www.modernghana.com, online radiobox.com. Stay right here. The best is yet to come. Today we have a lot for you. On Papalo Radio, we educate, we inform, and we entertain. What a gracious God we serve. Stay right here. Call a friend to call a friend. That is time for Mpɔtam Morning Show. Full of education, full of information. We'll give you the best. Nothing but the best. The best among morning shows. I want you to be part and parcel of this. Call your family members now. Let's do this together. Mifi makuma mukase rade me dawase. Adia chebia akukwa bonko kroko. Asori abaye nyuma so. Moje die frusani etechere madabodwie. Me no mie no nyankopon adi adoma bo adom so. Ya sorry. Hodin wo ho. Follow us on all our social media handles. Papalo Radio/TV. On Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Put into your search engine Papalo Radio/TV. Like the page, put your notification button on, so that anytime we come online, you'll be first to be notified. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Vini Vidi VC. The devil is a liar. Come on, go ahead and praise the name of the Lord. David said, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. In his presence there is fullness of joy. At his right hand there are pleasures forevermore. The good book says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. What a gracious God we serve. Show produced by Jude GH. My co-host David Santos. Great team backing things up, steering the affairs of Mpɔtam Morning Show. Some Ndc Delegate demand rerun of Ketu North elections. A group of concerned delegates of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, in the Ketu North constituency has expressed their dissatisfaction with the National Executive Committee, that is the NEC, declaration of a parliamentary candidate without conducting a rerun of what they say is a tied vote in the recent party primaries. We saw this coming. We told you so. Politicians will always be politicians. I'm telling you, we saw this coming. John Adanu and then Edem Agbana, these two candidates. One had 358 votes, and then the other also had 359 votes. So one vote separated the two. The contest was keenly contested, and the NEC took a decision, a conscious effort, a conscious decision to hand over victory to Edem Agbana without going through proper electioneering process. Under normal circumstances, it should have been the duty of the Electoral Commission of Ghana to declare who wins the election. Let's see how things rumble. Jachi Kwesen still declares intention to contest the Ase North election. Is it Rawlings's positive defiance or what? Positive defiance. You know that this is what the law says. When you look into the face of the law, you know this is what the law stipulates. Yet Rawlings created a cliche called positive defiance. Hey, Ghana is interesting. The NDC, the MPP, the New Patriotic Party, the government in power were hooted in Ase North, one of their towns. They are constructing roads left, right, center, and the people were hooting at them. MPP for Professor Kumawuni, they were hooting at them. Say who, who. Mobeye bibia maya. Kamaya dada. Election, and I heard one of them, those who were Hooters, the Hooters amongst the people. One was of the view that you are doing this because of Jachikwese. It means the people, the indigenous love Jachikwese. No political spectacles, but Nipaya Diosaye. A big shout out to everybody, staff and management of Papa Law Media. Don't forget that we're streaming live on www.mountainghana.com, onlineradiobox.com. Shot fired, fingers crossed. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from every evil. For thine is thy kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Forever, O God, thy word is settled in heaven. May the word of God settle every dichotomy in your life. Again, we'll be speaking with the CEO of Chamber of Construction. We'll be speaking with this great man, Emmanuel Cherry. He's the CEO of Chamber of Construction. He has a publication in the Daily. Chamber of Construction advocate for education on structural integrity of buildings. Great initiative. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has charged Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, MMDCs, to begin intensive public education on the entire processes of building and its associated requirements to reduce the incidences of building collapses. Quite recently, a story building had collapsed in one of our towns here in Accra. We'll speak with him. And then, what is your explanation of mentoring? Who is your mentor? We are saying don't worship them, especially when it comes to the Christian fold. When it comes to the Christendom, most spiritual quote and unquote spiritual fathers are worshipped by their mentees. We are not talking about worshiping them. We are talking about learning from them, understanding them. Don't try to be a copycat when you can be the original. Stop copying from people. So we'll have this great man of God. Did I say man of God? This man is very active when it comes to church matters. Mr. John Appiah. He's the president for Africa Chamber for Youth Development. And then on the health segment, a radio doctor, Dr. Leslie Apo, Britful Leslie. Britful Apo Leslie of Standards Clinic in AKUFO-ADDO will be speaking on the subject pneumonia. Doc, good morning. I believe you are bouncing well. Say no to galamsey. Gather them and sell. Say no to galamsey. The current state of the Tano River is in a worse state than last year. Shape onto all those illegal miners. God show you mercy. You are a disgrace to Christianity. You are a disgrace to humanity. You are a disgrace to Ghana. Stop the nonsense. Some of them are Christians, or I will say most of them. Just in Ghana. Alright, so God help us. God keep us and protect us. May the hand of the Lord rest upon you. Go ahead and praise the name of the Lord. A lot more for you. Dawasi. Why don't you praise the name of the Lord? Magnify the name of the Lord. Give God some crazy praise. God is good all the time. And all the time the Lord is good. Lord keep you and protect you. At this point, let me acknowledge our sponsors. Nana One Shoes. Nana One Shoes is into sales of all kinds of shoes for kids and adults. Nana One Shoes is of good quality. You can wear them during the Harmattan season, the sunny period, and even during the rains. You can even walk through the rain with Nana One Shoes and you still enjoy your shoe for the next years. Nana One Shoes, they are into all kinds of shoes for kids and adults. Just contact Nana One Shoes on 025683 6112 0256 836112. Nana One Shoes. Nana One Shoes can be located at Community 11, directly opposite Community 11 School Complex. Contact them now for your good quality shoes. Now, when it comes to photography, one name stands tall: Shabba Rich Photography. Shabba Rich Photography. Shabba Rich Photography is into all kinds of photography, passport size photograph, photo shoot for all events, your wedding, your engagement, your birthday parties, and naming ceremonies. Shabba Rich Photography can be located at Community 11, adjacent Community Presbyterian University Campus, Tema Campus, adjacent Presbyterian University Campus. Contact Shabba Rich on 0244671593, 0244671593. When it comes to poultry and piggery, Papa Law Farms comes to mind. Papa Law Farms will give you healthy pigs and chicken and good eggs. Contact Papa Law Farms on 0243446455. When it comes to photography, I told you it's Shabba Rich. And now when it comes to balloon decor, contact Lottie Law Balloon Decor. Contact Lottie Law Balloon Decor. They are into all kinds of balloon decor or decorations. Contact them for your wedding programs, your engagement and everything. I mean, when you contact them, they will be at your service. Contact them on 0542 371320, 0542 371320. Contact Lottie Law Balloon Decor, and they can be located at Community 1, directly opposite Zenith Bank TMA branch. Lottie Law excellence is their hallmark. Say ope enkukwa topadia Ketu Farms. Omoton broilers, omoton layers, omo white, omo brown. White no omoton 14 Ghana cedis, brown and so omoton 13 cedis 50 pesos, 13 cedis 50 pesos. Omo cockerels, white cocks, omoton 2 cedis. Brown cocks and so omoton 5 cedis 50 pesos. Plymouth check said even another canon you turn 5 Ghana cedis. Sasso Bears you turn 9 cedi 50 pesos. Ketu Farms obe to me ahwehwe more Tantra Hills ho na omo ho na omudi omujuma ebenade bia o pese oto enkokwa ebenade bia Tantra Hills Ketu Farms wo ho se omo beton kokodia ma na wenya so mfaso omo moane anase nkokono omo tofi Ivory Coast omo ye nationwide delivery ti bomodian so be contact Ketu Farms frewom ope 1 day old chicken on be maybe throughout the year afimuni nyina don't be a seasonal farmer say and ma ebia season de yen koko nru omo de da bia from January up to December omo ho at the mount. Contact Ketu Farms ewo 0245990000 and quadruple 0245990000 and 0243 502811 243-50-2811. Ketu Farms.
Now,
Chicken is their home.
hear this.
All right, I've gotten something more than gold. The Spirit of the Lord God is in this place. May God keep us and protect us. May the hand of the Lord rest upon us. All right, so hit the share button, share the message on your page, on your timeline, send the link to your friends. What is happening in the MPP's camp? So far, 9 people had picked their forms officially. Yesterday was Honorable Kennedy Japan's turn. Hey, Ghana. Oh, my be ye feminu me and Wara. Wonsom yedidi panaye. No nyamemwaye. My ahotia. Be dijume. Yakwevi pa. Who is your mentor? All these great men of God you look up to, all these renowned musicians, politicians, they all had mentors. Who is your mentor? Don't be an island on your own. Somebody knows something you don't know. I know you'll be interested in this engagement or conversation with Mr. John Appiah, President for Africa Chamber for Youth Development. I'm sure you enjoy the conversation between Dr. Brefua Paul Leslie and my humble self. We are discussing pneumonia. All right, our mind be ye Feminumi David Santos,
Attorney General.
David Santos.
When
you were in school, there was one beautiful thing about school.
Okay.
When it's closing time.
Oh yes.
You know we have assembly time.
Yes. When they ring
Crane,
the bell.
crane. Into crane. Mpɔtam morning show. Crane. Me say nampaya.
Ebeja.
Hey, MP before ya kwai.
Hwe. Omu de mo amadwene na mu.
Just say power need your dream say breaking the 8 dear.
It will be possible.
By hook or crook. Fair or foul means.
The chain must be break.
The chain must be broken.
Yes.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
Now, a man for the be say, hey, who? I'm say, share. I want to case it. We have video. And one say, great Daniel excavator and then Nam Kwanu say, just say, June 27th. And that. Is ye see was here better about it. No, my yelma coin in a mom. Not me pamucho on a lighter note. Omo yamoko and ye. Say Bibi Bessie, none no one to move in your development. And ye.
And they say
sometimes out of evil comes good.
Yeah. It's
be a judge crazy in case ya ma. Can people for your mind be some more year quine?
Yeah.
Abba, I'm a pneumonia quine.
Almost say owo safe but say owo ba ehon mu na mu say omu siesie fie. Yes.
Akasa na kakakra.
Akakakra.
Ye nananu abebuo ni bi wo ho a omu bu ye no. 21st century entosun. Go to buo ebo dan a obetima dodge mu.
Yes.
All right, on mind be here for me 7 a.m. GMT in the studios of Papalo Radio. We're streaming live on www.mountainghana.com, onlineradiobox.com. Stickers, they're right here. We're going to give you the best. Now, we are taking a motivational quote for today. Yeah. And you love it. You love it. I want you to read that one.
Okay.
You have it.
Our motivational quote.
Right.
For today being Friday, 2nd June.
That's right.
Some people are too close to their enemies to ever be trusted.
Some people are too close to your enemies. Your enemies. To ever be trusted. Dismiss them
immediately.
School baby at the panasa mobile a closing assembly. Yes, you may be dismissed.
Yeah. Sharp now,
already. Now, what pentama kodada? dismiss them
immediately.
School, you may be dismissed. That's just say you go fie.
Sharp.
Adisuano, ye wie, yenya na yesi ye ba school, ye nsuan piem ya pon.
Eho anu be say
What dismiss any fee? Headmaster na say teacher on duty anoa. You are done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people are too close to your enemies to ever be trusted.
Yes.
Nipa bi wo wo ni more delay. Some of you are dealing with people who have affiliation or acquaintance with your enemies. How can you trust such a person?
No, you can't. Don't trust the person.
As a MPP 40 Flagstaff House. NDC for say omo de omo friend Flagstaff House. MPP for the friend Jubilee House.
Jubilee House.
Aye. Emri bina ai General Secretary bi so omo de beye nkokobu. Honorable Asiedu Nketia, Chairman General. Osi so mu wini abana at the time. Omo de beye nkokobu.
Hey,
yeti ya no mafikasa kopie ayo nkokobu. Fear politicians. This are delegate fear politicians.
Yeah.
Because at the end of not turning. A turning so dear. A call mu favor the de. Now call mu favor. Also the NDC Kamusaro. Oh my hungry for power.
Power.
Cause a kabefi.
A kabefi one.
Ulusu power.
Yeah.
Share prekupena oswati.
Oh hey.
Osutmiti. Who?
Especially when you know that this one there I'm going to win. Yes. Never when this is
open so Jombo do ekutia.
Oh Debbie.
Share.
I'm just telling you.
Otina form say bem. Nempa bo akra do
and baby gra.
As a MPP at the Flagstaff House. No face said the course will be a nim. Na omo hu nipa. No ne to say Chairman General.
Yeah.
See dun ketia. Yeah. Or see if you joke I'll bite you. If you joke, I'll bite you. And not bite you for swamp of for swamp of giants you get it. But we need that. I say, I am the mosquito. I'll bite
if
you.
You joke.
Or bite you no. Or biting Mobile will say yes. Chairman, former chairman of swamp of malaria. Unya malaria nya done our better there.
Oh better them.
Chairman General and no Chairman Mechiawa no pay. MPP for so chairman Mechiawa no pay. MPP chairman and who jototo.
O see.
I saw yeah.
On shed active sir. But say if you chairmanship and can be a boko.
Secretary Sirina.
Yeah.
By MPP secretary Nikro and shed that too loud sir. By so a strategy, say who to be the John Boyd to hold there.
Okay.
So
that should tell you the intelligence.
Kind of politicians are smart.
Oh yeah, they did too much. Oh be your mistakes.
If you are not smart.
Yeah.
Eti ase MPP eti ho. Na omo ahu nipa ne chairman general Asiedu Nketia. Ko nakrana. Je say omo twibom.
Yeah.
Not the information a command. That is the code for the day.
Yes.
Some people cannot be trusted.
Not
those people are dangerous.
And I tell you, do you know something?
Tell me.
Sometimes when you tell your friend or the person closer to your enemy, they say, "Oh, you are not in a good terms," or "That is your enemy. That is not my enemy."
So those people, you have to avoid them.
You have to.
Those people are very
correct
dangerous.
code for the day.
Very dangerous.
Correct.
I mean, I don't have any issue with that.
You are.
Why should I shouldn't adopt your troubles or your enemies.
Yeah.
Yes, if you are not, I'm not saying adopt my enemies, but once you are dealing with me, then you choose between the two.
That is it.
Either you are for me or you are for that person or those people.
Yes.
Very, very important, because you know what, Santos, these people can kill you without your knowledge.
Simple.
They can poison you, they can set you up, they can call for your death. In fact, they can turn themselves into enemies when you call them friends. Yeah. Now, Nigeria president here by now, and no year wako 2 days ago, I saw rock wako dra fuel subsidy no.
Oh, master.
I saw mupo omo fantos. And only the dika or the amomo.
Yeah.
Or say mon fantos.
Sharp.
I'm telling you, Domilevo nso ese Odewradiase.
Yeah.
Odewradiase papa say Supreme Court have vindicated.
Yeah.
Na de ne ya ne se ohwe amamuo ana aban a wote so na oye ne niama emfa mra kwan so eno na ye ne ya no can say be or say he said he was living with the mindset that he is amongst his enemies even in his department. So he was careful what he drinks, what he eats, and then who he talks to. That's a key.
Yes.
Because the people you talk to can either poison you, the same people can betray you, the same people can poison your food, your drink, and then they can set you up as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so
and it's very dangerous to be in the midst of all these people.
I'm telling you.
Hey.
I'm telling you. So we thank God. We thank God. So say no to galamsey.
Yeah.
Now galam stop on ekosi say galam stop operation cow leg. One just say I had the 1 year creative bibi.
Yeah, creative bibi.
Nyame hu ya mobo.
Yeah, na mo see this institution. Munko muna muya in charge of this thing. And so but that day no there you see them the following week nothing comes out of it.
All right, so let's take the dailies Okunini daily graphic. Yemfa a quick nafe. Yemfa Mr. John Apia Antoine Humane so ne topic will be discussed papa is going to talk about mentoring.
Okay.
Who is your mentor? Do you have any mentor?
Yeah.
Who is your mentor?
That is John Apia.
That's right. So
that is my dad.
John Apia, that's right.
Yeah.
John Apia, you have a mentee here.
Yeah.
So this topic will even will inure to everyone's benefit. So let's take the authoritative daily graphic or Okunini daily graphic. Spate of collapsed buildings. That's right. So this story that was captured by Sherry of Chamber of Construction. That's why we're going to speak with him concerning this subject. It's a spate of collapsed buildings. MMDAs must enforce land use laws. Special Planning Authority. Effort to grow economy. Focus on SMEs. Professor Bob King to government as graphic business. Access Bank SME Clinic. Asim not current beehive of political activity. Do you know political beehive? Now everybody is going to, politicians are now going to Asim not. So that's their beehive. Yeah, beehive is the habitat of the bees.
Okay.
And so now the political beehive of this country
from
is no more Kumawu but Asim not. You see politicians, if once it will benefit them,
sharp.
No matter what, bone and teeth, anyway, anyhow.
They leave their position
I'm
down.
telling you.
They are all going there.
Shame on to both of you, MPP and NDC. Ehu. Ese de munyina makopi o.
Ehu.
Na ya na ehu. Ada na ya monko sra o. Ada na ya monko sra o.
Edru.
O yire. Udobia. What happens a day if you don't hear from the person? You will not be fine.
Yes.
So if you really, I'm giving this analogy.
Okay.
And let's do critical thinking.
Okay.
If you really love the people of Asin North, listen, people of Asin North, don't be deceived by the NDC and the MPP. If they love you, they should be there.
Long time.
Always. They should take all the government, MPP should take their government machinery and the party machinery and be there always.
Always.
NDC same, they can take their former appointees and party machinery and be there.
Always.
But because they want your vote, they are there day and night. God have mercy.
Yes.
Seek advice if hypertension drugs makes you sexually weak. Surgeon.
Yeah.
Say no na bani de grow. You won't stand again. For the Daily Dispatch and Yanko.
Okay, on the front page of the Daily Dispatch.
That's right.
It says, if there is adequate investment, Africa will be transformed by the potential of political intelligence and data. Paumia and Ekasa ewo the Daily Dispatch front page.
Digital man.
Digital man.
It's a bibia ye digital.
Digital emano. Onu die ubuao. Kennedy Japan and Jogati pick up from.
Yes. I forgot that one. So now, so far, I think about 9 of them. Yes, I got that right. 9 of them. Yeah.
9 of them now.
Because the Kojopoku hasn't taken his own.
Do we
yet.
still have more to come?
Yeah. They have them, man.
Hey.
They have them, man.
9.
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
after that, they will sieve them again.
No, once you go through vetting, and all of them will go through vetting. I mean, they all qualify. When you check the constitution of the MPP, all of them qualify.
Oh, okay.
Unless they have any other issue in the closet against them. Apart from that, I mean,
they are good to go.
Until maybe somebody comes up with some of the party members come up with maybe disagreement upon anybody's candidacy, then that's where they can raise issues or any alarm. But so far, there hasn't been any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Nigeria's president Tinubu cancel the petrol subsidy?
The ODD kind.
Yeah.
Once they have the power, politicians will tell you if you have to sell your mother and get power, go and sell your mother, and after gaining power, you can
go and pay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so that is the new president. Tinubu cancelled the petrol. Yes, Ahmed
Asiwaju. Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Wow. Emudu. I said Dudu Kurawo.
Asiwaju. Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Wow.
All right, so go ahead.
It was more than the allocation for education and health, and so that is the front page of the Daily Dispatch.
All right, so on the front page of the Chronicle, one of the oldest anyway, procurement of laptop for students is a complete waste of resources. Sempua. All right, Rawlins's positive defiance? Question mark. Jachikwesin declares intention to contest as in not by election. As Antifa say, oh, you tin. As will be on Tiasamase. O Pumpo or see Obasa Bijina. I'm telling you. Threat to national security should be fought with unity. So take the crusading guide.
The crusading
and
guide.
Let's go on the line quick on the phone and speak with Dr. John Appiah.
Okay. On the front page of the new crusading guide, it says that autocratic Nana Ofori Ansa must go. Yes, and that is what is on the front page of the new crusading guide. And Workers and Housing Minister Commission SHC Housing
State
Project.
Housing Corporation Housing
Project. Yes, at Adenta.
Yeah. Adenta is a hub of cottages and flats. Adenta flat is huge.
Oh, okay.
I went looking for somebody there some time ago and I got missing. Go to A1 block, AB block. Oh, it was so much. Yeah.
So
we thank God. So let's take the daily analysis. Allsted MP vows to contest again as MPP and NDC gear up for battle on June 27th. Stakeholders must come together to find solutions. Osei Mensa Bonsu. Let's work together for peace in Boko. Baumia says so. University of Education Council Chair under fire as concerned staff call on AKUFO-ADDO to withdraw his appointment. Koku Anyido on the constituency near Asumbiye Park constituency. Asumbiye Park constituency. He has always been ranting on radio and TV. So I would never support anyone who wants to destroy Atamil's legacy. I told you. Anyido fires Mahama again. Take the last one, political laundry.
Okay, on the front page of the political laundry, we have a picture of Domelevo and then His Excellency Nana AKUFO-ADDO. It says Domelevo's forced leave. Professor Jampo scolded AKUFO-ADDO, says you didn't listen to good counsel. On the can be on TJ.
Meanwhile, he's a lawyer.
Okay, and then we won't stop we won't stop picketing
until
we are paid. Pensions take bondholders grid wide. And then MPP France.
You saw the Deputy Minister of Finance.
Yes.
Or say something. The lady. She was begging them.
Yeah.
There were cameras there.
Yeah.
Be patient with
but
us.
It's sad.
Be patient with us. We'll pay. But they are not willing to pay.
We are almost heading to, it seems, 1 month now. They have been crying for their money and other stuff.
They will get the money.
They will get the money when?
That's the promise of the government.
They should, or they are going to use the $600 million US. Some
interesting
to pay.
I'm telling
you. We are here to see how they are going to pay them. And then MPP France Dini claims deny
claims of endorsing Baumia.
Yeah, or any other. Yeah. And then Supreme Court ruling. Domelevo forgive president, says no need for redress.
All right, no need for redress. God bless you, God keep you and protect you. Thank you, David Santos. What a God we serve. Alright, 18 minutes on top of the hour, 7 a.m. GMT in the studios of Papalo Radio. We're streaming live on www.mordenghana.com, onlineradiobox.com. So very soon I'll go on the phone and speak with Mr. John Appiah, President for the Chamber of African Youth Development. All right, so Doc, Mr. John Appiah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother. How's it?
The Lord is faithful. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Once I've heard your voice on air with the action and the vim, I'm like, hey, where do you get the energy from?
we are learning from you.
Hey, Charlie, this one, well done. Good morning to you and your team and your listeners and your audience.
You have a mentee here, David Santos extends his regards.
Oh, I take him. I hope he has admitted he's an internet addict.
I'm telling you. Yes.
Nice one.
Doc, welcome to Papalo Radio on Mpɔtam Morning Show.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Your general overview of youth development in Ghana and Africa. I always ask this before we set the tone for our main subject.
Yes, very, very, very important. And like I always say, I believe that it is work in progress. We may not achieve it today or tomorrow or even the day after tomorrow. But what it is that if we are consistent and we'll continue to go in the same direction and with the same momentum, we are convinced that eventually we will get there. Where it will be time, for example, in Ghana for presidential candidates for the various parties or aspirants to pick up forms, and you hear that all those people that have gone to pick forms are all under 50 years. That is when, as for me and you in Ghana, we will know that, yes, the issue of youth empowerment, youth development has gotten to the stage where, yes, we can now have young people, build a competence, build a financial backing, and get ready to be able to also influence at the very top level. So we are praying and working hard, hoping that a lot of young people in the few years to come will be able to take up such challenges.
That's great. Thank you for the explanation. Well, deep and detailed. Let's go to our subject, mentoring. What is mentoring?
Thank you very much. Very, very good question. And I hear it a lot. A lot of people talk about mentorship, mentoring. And some people think that, I don't have to get a mentor. I am okay. I can do it on my own. And there are people that are even making fun of those who say that they have mentors and they're asking, what else will a mentor do for you? What at all will a mentor bring into your life and all that? So I think this is a very good discussion, a discussion which is beyond age restriction. And I hope that everybody listening to us will pick up some valuable lessons. And by the end of the discussion, you'll be able to assess yourself and realize that indeed it's important you have a mentor at a point in your life.
That's right.
So going straight to your question, mentoring is typically a relationship between two people. All right. And the goal that drives that relationship is not love, it is not lust,
Okay.
It is professional and personal development.
Okay.
All right. So it's a relationship between two people with the ultimate goal of professional and personal development. In other words, when you are in a mentoring relationship, or when you talk of a mentoring relationship, it's about two people who have agreed or consented to the fact that they need each other, for the lack of a better expression, in order for them to be able to make professional advancement, for them to also be able to make personal development. So typically in that relationship, the mentor is usually an experienced person, a person that has a lot of experience. And the experienced person who is the mentor in the relationship is sharing or shares knowledge and experience and expertise and advice with the less experienced person, or who would call the mentee. All right. So the mentor typically in a relationship is the one that has a lot of experience and who typically will share knowledge and experience and advice with the less experienced person, who in our equation is the mentee. All right. So I need people to have this very good understanding. It is not usually about age, because sometimes people think that your mentor should be older than
I
you.
like that portion.
Yes.
When
Sometimes
people think that I must be older than the person I'm mentoring must be older than me always.
That's it. That's it. And it's also a case that a lot of people who find young, gifted, talented, experienced, and very competent people, but are unable to submit to them for a mentoring relationship because they think that this boy is capable of being my son, this girl is capable of being my daughter. So why would I want to, come under the person's tutelage and mentorship? But I need to stress that the mentor is usually a very experienced person with a lot of expertise. And typically that person shares the knowledge he or she has, the experience and the expertise, and gives a lot of advice to the less experienced person in this equation, who is called a mentee.
That's great. Doc, let me digress a bit. When it comes to the church setting, what's your take on that? We always say spiritual father and son and daughter. Can you say anything about this?
One day you take me to trouble with this, my man. But it's a very legitimate question.
That's right.
And I'm going to answer it as objectively as possible.
That's right.
All right. I think that it bears a certain, semblance to what we call mentoring. Because like I indicated, it's two people who agree that, okay, we're going to enter into a relationship, and the intention of the relationship is to better ourselves or to improve ourselves. So if you take it into the spiritual context or the spiritual dimension, then you're looking at a case where two people, out of the two, one is a very well-positioned person spiritually, or somebody who has a higher level of faith, or somebody who's on a very high pedestal when it comes to spiritual matters and matters of faith. And the person is giving support, knowledge, experience sharing, and advice to the less, experienced spiritual person, with the intention of helping that person to be able to develop him or herself to the point where the person can also stand on his or her feet to be able to engage and have an interaction with God or encounter with God. So even in the mentoring, at a point it ends, because then you have gotten to the point where you will also have to go back and help another person to also rise up. So the same way, I believe that in spiritual mentorship and spiritual fatherhood and all that, it gets to a point where the aim is not to make the mentee so dependent on you that without you, the mentee can do nothing. And I will go further when we go into the mentoring and talk about that point as well. But once you brought the spiritual dimension, let me also say that where I find a lot of problem with this spiritual relationships and spiritual fathers and spiritual covering and all that is that sometimes there's too much dependence on the mentor or on the spiritual person or spiritual father or mother aspect. To the point that without that spiritual person giving authorization to the mentor or the mentee, then nothing can be done. To the point where everything you go and tell the person. So today, I want to give birth to two children. What do you think? My spiritual father. My spiritual father. Somebody has brought me $10,000. What do I do with the $10,000? Please, tonight, Wednesday, is it a good spiritual time to be able to have an encounter with my wife and
right.
all that. So it tells you that that is where there's a lot of abuse. And when we go into the disadvantages or some of the challenges in mentorship, it is the abuse. It is the abuse. And then in mentorship, there's something we call cross mentorship, where a male mentors a female or a female mentors a male. It also comes with its own, issues and matters. But just to go straight to the point you asked me, spiritual mentorship or spiritual fatherhood and all that, it is essentially the same principle. Somebody higher than you trying to empower you and help you and share knowledge and experience with you with the intention of building you up and getting you to the point where you can be independent and you can be able to engage and encounter with God.
All right. So I have another question, but I will ask in the course of this course. So what are the stages of mentoring?
All right. So typically there are 3 main stages, or I should say even 4 main stages. The first one is the initiation stage. The initiation stage is the point where I will call the mapping, because then you need to be able to identify the right person to act as your mentor. And even you as a mentor, when somebody applies or when somebody expresses interest in having you mentor him or her, you need to also be able to do an assessment to find out whether this is the right person or this is the person that I'm willing and ready to be able to translate my knowledge and experience and expertise to help the person become a better person. So the initiation stage is where the 2 individuals actually agree to enter into the mentoring relationship. So that's where the matching and the mapping goes through, or that is at that level that the mapping and the matching goes through to be able to do an assessment to find out whether this is the best fit for me in terms of me being a mentor. And even as a mentee, is this mentor the best fit for me? All right. So that's the first stage, which is the initiation stage. And then there's the cultivation stage. This is the stage where cultivation stage. This is the stage where you are actually seeing the benefits or seeing the impact of the mentoring relationship. All right. It is at this stage that a lot of learning and development goes through. It is at this stage that you begin to do an evaluation of the encounter or impact you have or you have been experiencing as a result of that relationship that you have entered into. All right. So that stage is a very critical stage. And I think that one stage leads to this stage. It's like it's interrelated. So if you miss out on the initiation stage and you get the wrong mentor or wrong mentee, at the cultivating stage, you realize that there's nothing you can gain. There will always be discord, disagreement, and then you'll be frustrated. And at the end of the day, you may not achieve the purpose for which you entered into the mentoring relationship. So the cultivation stage is important. That is where you can actually test and find out whether or not the relationship would take you to the next level. And then there's the separation stage, because I am convinced that mentorship is not forever. It is for a period of time, or it's for a specific goal or a specific purpose. So once the purpose has been achieved, once that goal has been reached, it should get to the point where you can decide to end the mentoring relationship.
Oh, okay.
All right. And this is also a very, very important stage. So if, for example, I want to have you as my mentor because I want to enter into radio, all right? Or maybe somebody like me who's been into TV and radio, maybe Santos will say that, oh, Mr. Pia, I've watched some of your clips, I've listened to you, and I think that I want to be somebody like you. I want to learn from you. So can you help me or enter into a relationship with me where you can mentor me to be a better person? So in that case, it is for a specific purpose. So over time, as I keep engaging with my mentee and engaging with my mentee, it will get to a point where the person would have achieved that particular objective. So for example, now Santos is not hosting a show, but over a period of time, I see that even with your engagement with him, it's a mentorship relationship you have with him. You are mentoring him, you know, you are helping him, you are supporting him, you are giving him the exposure, you are giving him the platform. Over time, if he's a very serious-minded person, which I believe he is, he'll be able to pick up a lot of valuable things to the point that even when you are absent or you have to travel, he can sit in the seat for you and do a marvelous job.
That's true.
All right. So at that stage where the mentee would have achieved the goal and the purpose of that relationship, then it gets to that third stage where there's that separation stage where we mutually agree that, okay, now you have achieved the reason for which you came into this relationship. You have been able to build yourself. I am impressed. If I'm to write an evaluation of you as a mentee, you have done perfectly well. So congratulations, well done. You have graduated. Now you can move off. You can move on. All right. So that's the separation stage. And then there is what I call the redefinition stage. This is the stage where both the mentor and mentee recognize that their relationship can continue but it will not necessarily be the same as a mentoring relationship. So what that means is that you don't just separate and then you become enemies, or you don't just separate and then you don't communicate again, or you don't stay in touch. If both parties successfully negotiate through the separation stage, the relationship can evolve into a very, very positive relationship, or a very social relationship. All right. So that at the end of the day, you will still have access to your mentor, you still have access to your mentee, and you continue to have that cordial relationship. So 3 main stages: the initiation stage, the cultivation stage, the separation stage, and the final stage, I should add, is the redefinition stage, where both the mentor and the mentee recognize that beyond, the relationship of mentoring, they can still maintain a cordial, positive, and very social relationship.
Great. So, what are some of the forms of mentoring or mentorship?
Okay, so there's usually 2 types, which can manifest in several ways. There's one which is the informal mentoring. Now, under the informal mentoring, sometimes it develops spontaneously. All right, it doesn't have any goals and objectives. It doesn't have any particular format or formula. But it's just that you realize that, this person is good, I want to learn from the person. By the time you realize you are in a mentoring relationship, but it doesn't come with laid down procedures and rules and key performance indicators and all that. It is just a spontaneous relationship that is aimed at helping the mentee to be a better person. All right. So that's the informal mentoring. And then there's a formal mentoring. As for the formal mentoring, it is like we'll take pen and paper in the local parlance. But you pen and paper.
That's right.
Then we'll agree on the objectives of the mentoring relationship. Then we'll agree on the criteria for selection of mentees and the mentors as well. And then we'll actually go through the matching of the mentors and the mentees. And then we'll also do training for the mentors and mentees, because there are some people that are potential mentors but have never mentored before. So they need to go through a sort of a training to give them the skills they need to be able to successfully mentor. And the mentees will also have to go through a form of a training to be able to give them a perspective or an expectation as to what the mentoring relationship will yield. And then they are laid down guidelines that sort of directs the mentoring relationship, include frequency of meetings. So, for example, in a formal mentoring relationship, we can agree that we'll talk 3 times in a week, or we'll talk once a month, or we'll talk once a quarter, or we'll meet once a month, or this or that. All that is laid down under strict procedures, and it is guided by these procedures in the formal mentoring relationship. So there's the informal mentoring, and then there's the formal mentoring as well.
Doc, concerning the initiation stage, some don't do their checks before accepting the mentees, and sometimes the mentees also don't do their checks. Is it necessary to do your checks before? Because on a lighter note, some become spiritual sons or maybe mentees based on their gifts that have been doled out to their mentors and all that. Your take on this one?
Yes, it is extremely important, because you see, like any other relationship, there's always the propensity or probability for abuse. So it is critical for you to do your assessment well before you submit or you decide to consent to a mentoring relationship.
That's right.
And I should say that sometimes mentors and mentees may have different motives for their engagement. So, for example, as a mentor, if I notice that, Papa Law is doing very well in radio, I see that the money is coming in, I see that, he's changing cars, the guy is doing well, he has a mansion in Trasaco, every 6 months he goes for holiday in London. I'm sure that's what's happening in your life, right?
That's
is that a prophecy or not?
Yes, sir.
So
you
then
got that
the
right.
mentor, exactly. The mentor at the top looks at it and sees that this is somebody I can benefit from, because if I'm able to convince him to enter into that relationship with me, then the person can really be a support to me. The person can help me take care of my children. When he's going on a trip, he can take me along because I am his mentor. I am superior. I'm above him. So he will essentially worship me. He will essentially throw all that he has at me. So sometimes mentors may have a particular mindset with which they go into the relationship. So you as a mentee, you don't just rush to accept any mentor that comes to you that, I want to mentor you. You need to do your checks, go into the past, find out about the previous experiences people have had with that particular mentor before you agree to go into that. And also the mentees also have several reasons why they want to enter into a mentoring relationship. They see that you as a mentor, you are doing well. Maybe the person even wants a job. You have a group of companies. Oh, boss, I want you to be my mentor. It's a lie. He wants to get a job or she wants to get a job. Or the person sees that, oh, you're a very handsome man. You're not married. Why are you walking around single? Then maybe a young lady comes up to you and submits to you that I want to be a mentee. I want you to mentor me. I want you to help me and empower me and all that. But you realize that the person came for marriage. He didn't come for mentorship.
They are even in churches.
Exactly. So you need to be able to do your background check, whether you are a mentee or you are a mentor. You need to be able to do your background check. That's why the cultivation stage is also important. Assuming you miss it in the initiation stage, at least in the cultivation stage, you should be able to identify and realize that this is not going anywhere. It is high time I just put a stop to it and then move on.
Look, if you assess the stages, the initiation stage, the cultivation stage, one major stage that a lot of people have issues is the separation stage. A lot of people have a lot of issues when they are leaving or when they are done with their mentorship or mentoring.
That's right.
How do we solve some of these issues? Most people have become enemies today during the separation period and then the redefinition stage where people still have access. Most mentors and mentees, especially those who have experience here in our country, most of the time they are loggerheads or they are throwing tantrums to each other. This one said this and he's not my father, he's not my mentor, he's not my dad. How do we address some of these issues?
Okay. So I think that especially at the initiation stage,
that's right,
we have to be clear what it is we want to achieve out of this relationship. And I will always say that, look, you are not going into a competition with your mentor.
That's right.
You are not going into a competition to outdo your mentor. You are not going into the mentoring relationship with the intention that after I am done, I'll be better than you. And if, for example, you are running a business, I'll come and take over your business, or I'll come and take over your customers, or I'll come and take over your clients. That mindset is very problematic. And that is why sometimes at the separation stage, there's a lot of problems.
That's
all right.
So
I think that both the mentor and the mentee need to agree and understand that this is not a competitive relationship we're going into. We are just going to be in this mentoring relationship, and I'm going to, as a mentor, help you to be a better person. Sometimes people think that it's only mentees that benefit. Sometimes if you get the right mentee, you as a mentor will also benefit. So when we get to that point, when you ask me about the benefits of being a mentor or going into I'll go into details. But just to answer your question straight to the point, you need to understand that you are not in any competition with your mentor.
Okay.
And you as a mentor too, you are not in a competition with your mentee, because sometimes at the cultivation stage, you realize that your mentee is showing signs of brilliance. So for example, using you and Santos as an example, you go on a holiday, you go on a break, and then Santos sits in, and then people start texting Santos, I like the way you're doing it, Santos, you are solid, you are wow, you are doing great. Then you hear this feedback, and then all of a sudden you begin to develop enmity for Santos. You begin to, in quote, mafia him, begin to put him at a place where he may not get the wings to fly again. And even if you go into the Bible, the issue of David and Saul, you can see that reflected. Saul has killed 1,000, David has killed 10,000. So I can tell you, sometimes the audience, the people around you can really get you into trouble. If you listen to people, it's serious, my brother.
That's right.
So for example, you're doing this nice show, maybe your mentor is somebody who's also into radio, and then you hear people taking, oh, you are better than your mentor. Charlie, forget that mentor. And then you listen to them, it gets into you. And then at the end of the day, at the separation stage, it becomes very problematic. And then you begin to denounce the relationship you have and begin to issue disclaimers and all that. It doesn't help at all. So I think that the most important thing that the mentor and the mentee should agree and understand that we are not into competition with each other. We are just in this mutually beneficial relationship to help each other become better.
So what are the usual needs that will necessitate in someone seeking for mentorship?
Excellent question. So typically, it is about a matter of guidance. It's about a matter of guidance. You need somebody with more experience than you, with higher expertise than you, to be able to help you to be able to navigate through either your professional development or your career development or your personal development. So guidance is number one. And number two, you may have series of questions or issues that may not be addressed necessarily in the classroom for you, or your parents may not be able to address those matters for you, especially if you are towing a particular line that your mentor has already told before. So all those questions and matters and issues that you have, you are able to connect to a mentor that is able to help you get answers to these questions and find solutions to the problems that you are currently encountering. The third thing is that also on matters of career development, it can necessitate or create the need for one to go into a mentoring relationship because you want to improve your career, you want to be a better person. And usually in a career development setting, there's what they call the shadowing, job shadowing. It's another form of mentoring. You are trying to learn from the job. Sometimes it is coaching, which is also another terminology you can use. Sometimes it is training, which is also another terminology you can use to also express or sort of show mentoring in progress or mentoring in action. All right. So for career development, sometimes there's an apprentice and there's a master. It is the informal sector, but it's a typical example of how you can engage in a form of a relationship or mentoring relationship that will help you to grow your career. And then sometimes you may need ethical and moral guidance, because not everything comes in a textbook. Not everything comes straightforward. Sometimes you may need somebody who's superior or who's experienced to be able to guide you and
pass
say
the
that I have
experiential
seen
knowledge to you.
Exactly. I have seen this before. I have been in your shoes before. Don't go left, go right. So sometimes for matters of ethical and moral considerations, it may become necessary for you to be able to get a mentor to help you. And then finally, of course, if you have a mentor, the person can be very supportive for you in your professional setting. If you're working in a particular institution that the person has worked in before, the person can help you, very well to settle in, helps you understand the structures. And even for those that do politics, so politicians also have godfathers. That's how they call them. They are also another form of mentoring relationship. And then for anybody who wants to go into a particular political engagement, typically you need somebody who has done it before to be able to give you the support, the guidance, and the direction to be able to succeed. So these are some of the reasons that may necessitate in someone seeking for a mentorship relationship.
So what are some of the benefits a mentee gets out of mentoring?
Okay, so number one, the mentee gets valuable advice. And I always tell people that there's some advice you will never find on Google. No matter how well you search, you may never get it on Google. So number one thing that benefits, or the number one benefit that comes to a mentee in a mentoring relationship is that you gain valuable advice, valuable insights that will allow you to be able to make the right decisions and make the right choices. Number two, you develop your knowledge and your skill, because bear in mind that your mentor is superior in terms of knowledge and skill. And the person is passing down to you the knowledge and the skill through the engagement and the interaction you're having. So the second thing that will come to you is that you're able to develop knowledge and you're able to develop your skill. So beyond what you find in the classroom and what you can get through formal training, you can also acquire a lot of knowledge and skill through the conduit of mentorship. Number three, improving your communication skills. It is very important because you see, anytime you engage with your mentor, you learn how to communicate more effectively. You learn how to pass on your thoughts and your ideas. You learn how to express yourself. You learn how to be able to carry your points and your views through. And that is another way where you can develop and improve your communication skills through the avenue of mentorship. Also, as a mentee, you also learn new perspectives. There are certain perspectives that may never come to you normally or naturally. You may need somebody to draw attention to it. That is why we see that when a young man, climbs the tree, he's able to see to a certain extent. But you cannot compare yourself to an old man sitting under the tree. That's right. He may see beyond what you see when you climb the tree. So it's important for you to get new perspectives. And through the concept of mentoring, you are able to develop new perspectives that can be very helpful to you. And then you're also able to build your network. Your mentor can offer opportunity to expand your existing network, so your mentor can connect you to other people. So imagine your mentor is Dangote. He can connect you to another person. He can connect you to Bill Gates. He can connect you to somebody else, because they have a cycle within which they operate. So once you are introduced into that cycle, it is helping you to build and expand your network. And finally, you can also advance your career with the support of a mentor. That is very important, because your mentor will help you to stay focused. He will help you to stay on track, give you the career skills and advice you need that will help you to be able to make progress. So these are, in my opinion, 5 key things you can get as a mentee. 1, valuable advice. 2, you're able to develop your knowledge and your skills. 3, you're able to improve your communication skills. 4, you're able to learn new perspectives. And then 5, you're able to build your network, and you are introduced to other networks that can help you advance your career.
So, the next question. I mean, I know you guess. What are the benefits a mentor gets in mentoring?
Great. You remember that when you and I were in school in Pope John's,
That's
one
right.
of the things they say is that if you know something, teach another person, and
That's
then it
right.
can stick better.
That's right.
So the number one thing you can get through you being a mentor is that you are able to build your leadership skills.
Wow.
Mentorship will help a mentor to develop his or her ability to lead, his or her ability to manage people, his or his ability to be able to engage with people and lead people in a particular direction. Because bear in mind, mentorship has a vision, it has a focus, it has an objective. So you as a mentor, you are the driver in the relationship. So you develop your leadership skills as you continue to mentor other people. The second thing too is that you're also able to improve your communication skills, because you see sometimes the mentees you may get may not be very skilled or extremely competent people. You need to take your time sometimes to break down technical things to the point where the person can understand. In so doing, what you are doing is that you are building your communication skills, and a very important communication skill is your listening skills. If you are a mentor, you will listen more than you talk. All right. So that's another avenue where you can also improve your communication skills. The other thing too is that you're also able to get new perspectives, because maybe you were trained in the 20th century, but you are mentoring somebody in the 21st century. They can bring to you new perspectives that you may not even have imagined before. Because of the advancement of technology, the power of the internet, robotics, artificial intelligence, and all that, your mentees can also introduce fresh perspectives to you. That is a new way of you also learning and also improving yourself. So if you are mentoring people, you are also learning new perspectives. And then it is also important to help you to also advance your career. Because leadership skills is a key competence that allows you to rise up your career ladder. So the more you are able to mentor people and you're able to build people up, you are strengthening yourself when it comes to matters of career prospects. You are preparing yourself for promotion. You are preparing yourself for leadership. So it helps you to also be able to advance your career, because sometimes the people you mentor can come together to support you. They can come together to help you. So if you work in an organization and you are a senior manager and you are mentoring people under you, national service people, people that have come to do internship, people that are entry level, what you are doing is that you are replicating yourself in other people. So it will get to a point these people will be able to marshal the resources they have to push and to support you and to allow you to be able to rise up the career ladder. All right. And then most importantly, you gain personal satisfaction. It is very fulfilling. It is very, very fulfilling to know that somebody you mentored has achieved this or is doing this or doing that. It is extremely very exciting to be able to see that the impact of your mentoring has helped another person make progress. So these are the things that will come to you when you decide to mentor people. You build your leadership skills, you improve your communication skills, you get new and fresh perspectives, you advance your career, and most importantly, you also gain deep, fulfilling satisfaction as a result of what that you do, or as a result of what you do.
Doc, so can you enumerate some problems or challenges in mentoring?
Okay, so the first thing I'll talk about is that sometimes trying to agree on a meeting becomes difficult, because typically mentors are very busy people. And if you don't get a very serious-minded mentee to be able to follow through your schedule, to be able to avail himself or herself for the process of mentoring, you may never achieve anything in a mentoring relationship. All right. So, for example,
does such a person, does such a person still remain your mentor?
Yes, to a certain large extent, and to the point where you
some
realize
of them
that
you might not even have time with them a whole year, maybe once in a year. They seem so busy. Always they are busy.
They are busy, but there are always ways of engaging with them. So if you can't even get them physically, you can WhatsApp them. You can send them a text message. If you know where they are physically, depending on their agreement, you can go there and visit them. Because you see, what it is that sometimes a mentor will tell the mentee, call me at 2:00, and the mentee will forget and call him at 3:00. He's in another meeting, he can't talk to you, or she's in another meeting, she can't talk to you. All right. So I think that sometimes, because of time constraints and the busy schedules that both mentors and mentees may have, meeting becomes a difficulty. So in our minds, we're in a mentoring relationship, but we hardly get to engage and interact. The second thing too is that honestly, mentoring process requires a lot of time and energy. You need to commit your time and your energy. So if you're not up for it, you may not be able to sustain yourself because you are there as a mentor and a mentee messages you that this is what has happened, what do I do? Maybe you're also going through your own challenges, but then you need to make time for the person. All right. In the same way, sometimes the mentor can give instructions or directions to the mentee that do this way, do this, do that. Maybe you as a mentee too, you have other commitments on your table, and that will also, make some kind of impact on you. So the matter of balancing time and energy sometimes can be problematic when it comes to mentoring relationship. And then I can also talk about unrealistic expectations. Somebody or some people usually think that once you enter into the mentorship relationship, you are finished, you have achieved everything. So if Dangote is your mentor, then it means that you're going to be a millionaire by the time you wake up the following morning. Sometimes the expectations are just so unrealistic. And it's not just on the part of the mentee, sometimes the part of the mentor as well. Because you talk to your mentee and you think that you should be able to grasp it by now, and should be able to take the decision, and should be able to make the actions. But for all you know, it may not be possible that way. So sometimes unrealistic expectations can really create a lot of problems, problems in the mentorship and then the mentee kind of relationship. And then also, like I indicated earlier on, the overdependence can become a problem. In the case where you're unable to do anything at all unless you have express permission or instruction from your mentor, then that's where the problem comes in. So we need to also pay attention to the point that we don't go to the point where there's overdependence. And that's why I would caution that mentors and mentees should be able to keep that in mind. The moment you get to the point of overdependence, then there's a problem. So, for example, if you have a mother and a father, but you are so dependent on your mentor for direction and instruction at the neglect of your parents, then that is a problem. If you have a superior in the office who gives you instructions, but you don't take the person's instruction, but rather would like to take the instruction of the person who's your mentor, who may not necessarily be working with you, then the problem comes in. So we need to look at that point where overdependence comes in, then it's a problem. And then the last thing I'll talk about is unfair manipulation. Unfair manipulation.
Which is on the ascendancy.
It is on the high ascendancy, especially with cross mentorship, where a male is mentoring a female. Sometimes you may become so familiar with each other at the time you realize you are in an illicit relationship. By the time you realize you are already impregnated the girl or the woman. And it's a big challenge. And we need to be able to keep this in mind. Any mentorship relationship you find yourself in and realize that you are being manipulated and your mentor is telling you, if your mentor is a male and calls you around 12 a.m. and asks you, what are you doing? At 12 a.m., what am I doing? What does that mean? Or calls you at and calls you at 1 a.m. and says, can we have a video call? What do you want to see in the video call? So sometimes unfair manipulation comes in, and then your mentor is demanding money from you. Oh, send me Momo to be able to do this, or sow a seed into my life to be able to do this, and do this in order to be able to get this.
The seed aspect, and I like that portion.
Bruh, don't get me to trouble.
I know.
So then they take undue advantage of you, and your mentor says that, oh, go and buy watch it for me, and you think that when you come, he gives the money to you. He doesn't give the money to you. It's your own money that you are using, or you call your mentee and so just loan me some 200 cedis. I'll give to you tomorrow. The money never comes. Manipulation. Then you realize that you are being abused in a relationship. Sometimes it can be verbal abuse, maybe insulting you or looking down on you, and all that kind of manipulation. Nobody should take that kind of trash. In my barest minimum opinion, nobody should get into that situation and you still stay in there. It is not by force. Mentorship is not by force. If you realize that it's not working for you, leave. So that unfair manipulation can really create a lot of problems. So in my opinion, these are the 5 key things that can become a problem on the matters of mentorship.
So what advice will you give to someone seeking a mentor or considering becoming a mentor themselves?
Yeah. So first of all, you need to consider the benefits that will come to you as going into that mentoring relationship, whether you are the mentee or the mentor, like I enumerated earlier on.
So there should be a conscious effort, and you should be ready. If you don't have the passion, the zeal, the drive, you don't have to enter.
Exactly. Don't waste your time at all. So do your analysis well, do your background checks well, and be sure that what you are going into
when you spoke about background checks, something just hit me up. Should I concentrate on the shortcomings of my mentor or the strength of my mentor?
Very brilliant question. So first of all, you need to understand that nobody is perfect. There is absolutely nobody that is perfect. So mentors have shortcomings, and even mentees also have shortcomings. But remember that you are driven by the goal of the relationship, which is to better yourself and to improve yourself.
Okay.
And that is why I think that the mentor and the mentee will have to be discerning, mature people who can decipher and know which one to take and which one not to take.
Okay.
In terms of their advice, all right? So if your mentor is advising you to do something, you should also weigh it and find out whether it's going to be helpful for you, whether or not it's going to be very positive or make an impact on you. All these things you need to consider. So I think that discernment is an important part of the mentoring relationship. You don't have to, because you're taking after a particular mentor, all the negatives and excesses, you are also adapting it. When people ask you, they say, oh, you know my spiritual father, so of course I can also misbehave. You know my mentor, so I can also misbehave. No, not at all. I think that you concentrate on the positives that you can gain from that relationship. And that is why it is important for you to be a discerning person, and you should be focused on the goals of the relationship that will drive and allow you. Again, like I said, if you do your background checks and the negatives supersedes the positives, don't even go into the relationship in the first place, because then you are going to entangle yourself. And entanglement is a big issue.
So finally, how do you see the future of mentoring evolving, considering the changing dynamics of the workplace and technological advancement? Finally,
I think that I see a lot of positives for mentoring relationships, especially with the impact and influence of technology.
Right.
I can be here in Ghana, but have a mentor in Italy or England or New York. But we agree on regular meetings, Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, WhatsApp messages, text messages, and all that. I can also follow somebody on LinkedIn, have a relationship with a person, and also be able to build a relationship with. I can pick up a phone and call somebody and talk to as a result of technology. And because we are very busy people, we may not get opportunity to meet all the time. But thanks to technology, it has made the world a smaller place. It's now a global village. So I think that there's a lot of prospects for mentorship, especially as technology is advancing, as we are going higher and higher when it comes to matters of technology and how the internet has actually made things very simple and easy for us. I think that we can really make a lot of impact and also get to learn a lot from the mentoring relationship that we get ourselves involved in.
Doc, any advice for mentors and mentees?
I will say that, yes, we have to always keep our focus on why we are in that mentoring relationship, which is very important. Number two, I think that once you are able to meet the right person or do a successful pairing or matching, you should never forget the goals of the relationship so that it might not digress into something else. You know, that's why in the olden days, it was very funny when a teacher marries his or her student. They say, hey, you know, so it is sort to say that you try as much as possible to keep a high level of professionalism at all times. Don't take undue advantage of each other. And most importantly, you should constantly evaluate the mentoring relationship to see if you are getting the impact or the results that you initially intended to get from that relationship.
A harmless question. You don't befriend your mentor or you don't befriend your mentee, right?
I agree.
All right, Doc, your final words.
But that last statement you made, if I listen to you, you get me into trouble. But the fact that you are not befriending the person doesn't mean you should not have a cordial relationship or a very, peaceful, relationship with the person. But the point is that the person is not your friend. So every time you pick up a phone, you call the person, what dress should I wear? I'm eating what? Do you want to come and eat some? No. You should adhere to some levels of professionalism.
Right. There should be boundaries.
Cordiality. There should be boundaries. Perfect. I'll end on that. There should be boundaries.
Doc, your final words.
My final words is there should be boundaries. You have to.
All right. It's always a blessing to have you on our show. We are so grateful. Thank you for spending your precious time with Papa Lord Radio listeners and viewers across the globe. We are so grateful. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
And meet me to Santos.
Thank you.
One day I'll meet you.
Yes, Santos is here.
All right. Have a nice weekend.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. John Appiah, he is the president for Africa Chamber for Youth Development. David Santos.
There should always be a boundaries.
Very intelligent and articulate.
Yes. I told you.
Oh my goodness.
With my mentor, don't go there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And he likes you.
Yes, of course.
I'm sure very soon you guys will meet.
Yes.
It's
yes.
a great.
Yeah. The
Wow.
impact too is so great.
Yeah.
The delivery, the kind of knowledge that he imparts.
It's like a parrot.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just press him and everything comes out.
Have you been sending
Because
him
I've listened to people about mentoring, but his own
style,
is
yes.
out of the roof.
Yes.
My goodness.
I was even about to ask you whether you've sent him the questions already.
He is the type, once you give him the topic, he flows.
You are good to go. Serious.
All right, so I'll go for a quick break, and the next story will be Chamber of Construction advocate for education on structural integrity of buildings. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has charged metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives (MMDCs) to begin intensive public education on the entire processes of building and its associated requirement to reduce incidences of building collapses. At Ghana, and a die age Ghana, ye nika. Why no more permits o muzidai? Who gave them permits to build? Funny enough, you go and check those who put up that building, and they will tell you, this is my permit to build. Interesting Ghana. I'm going for a short break and I'll be right back. 2 minutes on top of the hour, 8 a.m. GMT in the studios of Papalo Radio. We stream it live on www.modernghana.com, online radiobox.com. Good morning, Ghana.
Asampaetia Obayansa fusu obunibia wankana asam Zema futu sam kakre wa supeme Yo kofi oman ya woman Omani ya memana Genyi baby ako Wachaza ya wareni Wonsom wanyinyi pa Asadipa wofyoye Demo yembera ye Ebe ya Nena Omaya umano Omaya mamana
Wonsom ya di nipa na ye Omaya memai Omaya wonso my I want you to stick and stay right here. The best is happening here. Here we educate, we inform, and we entertain. We are the best in news, best in sports, best in entertainment, best in religious affairs. Mpɔtam morning show, the best radio show. I want you to hit the share button, share the message on your page, on your timeline, send the link to your friends. Make a conscious effort and join us. God is good all the time, and all the time the Lord is good. David Santos,
Attorney General.
Chamber of Construction for raising issues. Say MMDCs. No one was blame you. Go dying omusisi no. Omusi ni how. No checks. Now there be a institution. There be a many warm ho pa. A town and country planning. Na mo. And nkrofo sisi adan e wo nsuo ano. Nkrofo si dan wo bia won so mu si dan. We are disgraced to humanity. Aya na reho se onipa tumi tena ho. Emma na brabo sei. Ono ankasa sei na brabo. We are sick and tired of this nonsense. We are in this country. What's the name of this mall? There was a mall, Ejiriye. I've forgotten the company. Achimota, one of the structures there. Ejiri Kumnipa, just like that, and we don't care what happens. I have on the line to speak to this all-important issue. The CEO of the Chamber of Construction, Emmanuel Cherry. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, yourself?
The Lord is faithful. We are bouncing around here. Welcome to Papalo Radio and Mpɔtam Morning Show. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Papalo Radio and Mpɔtam Morning Show.
Oh, thank you very much.
We have your publication here. With your permission, I would like to read briefly what you wrote, and then we'll do justice to the topic.
Go ahead.
Chamber of Construction advocate for education on structural integrity of buildings. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has charged metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives (MMDCs) to begin intensive public education on the entire processes of building and its associated requirement to reduce the incidences of building collapses. The chamber blamed the MMDCs for their failure to live up to their responsibility in ensuring the structural integrity of buildings, which has led to some buildings collapses reported last month. Speaking to the media at the broad stakeholder conference on the recent collapse of buildings and matters arising, the chief executive officer, the CEO of the chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, highlighted a knowledge gap between MMDCs and land developers. He underscored the need for building owners to comply with the law when putting up structures. Honorable, what is the Chamber of Construction doing to avoid some of these excesses?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to salute you and your cherished listeners across the entire country.
Thank you, sir.
One of the pragmatic steps that the chamber has taken is this very forum. And this forum witnessed 52 state actors as well as private institutions, enterprises and organizations assembled or congregated at one forum to deal with the subject matter before us.
That's right.
So therefore, that's our core mandate and our responsibility to make sure that we influence policies and regulations accordingly within the construction space. So that is what we have started. But we realize that in the discussion, a little information is out there for most developers as well as our workforce as artisans.
That's right.
So therefore, the honor lies on the various district assemblies to take up the educations. In as much as we also do our bit, they must also do their part of the obligations as well as mandated by law.
So you have a legal backing when it comes to your chamber, right?
Yes.
All right. So what is the duty of the MMDCs when it comes to construction?
We have something called building code, building regulation, and then local governance acts.
That's right.
So in the acts, you realize that authority from the presidency invested in the various district assembly through the chief executive. So therefore, their core responsibility is to make sure that anything, if it comes to the infrastructure space, anything concerning infrastructure before it spreads out, the various district assemblies must make sure that the requisite permitting and the supervision is well in place.
That's right.
So anything unto us, which means that structure must not even, first of all, even see the digging of a trench, talk less of foundation before even pouring concrete that you are doing whatsoever. So that is where the issues is now. So you hear us calling on the various MMDAs is because some of them has gone to bed, leaving the developers to their fate, doing their own thing. Because you and I know there are influx of substandard materials in the market. During this discussion, this forum, it came to our attention that some of the cement manufacturing companies are not using clinker. Instead, they are using quarry dust.
That's right.
That tells you how vulnerable the industry is and how vulnerable developers are.
Which is dangerous to the health of our country. Because
there is no setting, there is no bonding. So it's just the same sand that is being poured in the name of cement. So there's nothing. So if you should at least go to bed and then seeing developers using substandard materials in doing this, what do you expect to see? Collapse. So this has given us a call for us to be proactive so that we get out of our loins and then do whatsoever needful legally to make sure that we guard the various assemblies accordingly. So that's the reasons why we are letting hard on the various MMDAs, not because that they have not done, how do you call it, because of any hatred or what have you, but we want them to be proactive by implementing or interpreting the acts, the regulations within the various assemblies that enshrined in there, that has given them the mandate to craft the whip to do so.
I'm sure I want us to walk through the processes before somebody takes it upon him or herself as a contractor or a mason or whoever to put up a structure. I'm sure the MMDCs have a department that is in charge of construction, right?
Yeah.
And so are they ready to change the narrative by allowing people to go through the right processes to acquire the permit? Because we hear this about, I have the permit, I have the building permit. Who is in charge of releasing fake permits to people?
You see, if we should talk about permitting, as I said earlier, is a mandate of the various district assemblies to do so.
Sure.
And if we go to the various district assemblies, we have something called statutory planning committee. That is their work.
Okay.
So any permit that needed to be given has certain requirements. First of all, you, the developer, will submit a form, a developing permit form, that you must fill. All the necessary information is provided accordingly. Two, after submitting the form, you need to attach your search, the land search certificate to or documents to the document as well. Number 3 document is your land that's in danger. That states that indeed the land belongs to you without any litigation. 4, you need to submit with something we call structural drawing.
4 copies of them, right?
Exactly, structural drawing. Then you need to submit the structural calculation.
Okay.
Because as I said earlier, before you put up anything, for instance, as for artisans, all they know is we call cement. All they know in the market is what cement. That's the name, cement. If they all they know is what steel or iron rods. That is all they know. But the cement we are talking about, we have grades. And each grade is specialized in certain portfolio.
That's right.
They have their own work and uniqueness. There is a cement for plastering and block molding. That's 32.5 RAN. At times even R also can do same. But because some of our artisans that don't have that exposure, don't have that requisite knowledge, they just go, I want to buy cement, and they give them anything.
Which to a lay person I will understand, but we won't forgive somebody who claims that I am an expert in this.
You see, so if this happens this way, he just purchased anything. Iron rods, we have dimensions. Each have its own enforcement within the building.
Wow.
If you should go and bring a substandard iron rods to fix into your columns, then you are getting ready to shoddy work or a building collapse. Even though it's an iron rods, but the right dimensions must be used for a specific assignment. So that is where the calculation comes in. So the building you see or the roads you see, there are a lot of calculation that goes into it. Before the contractor or the developer put out there what exactly is on the paper. So there is a requisite mandate of the various MFDAs to make sure that what the document that has been submitted, the calculation is attached, the drawings is attached, the design is attached.
Honorables, when you look at the building permit on the number, I think the number 5, structural drawings, 4 copies, and then number 6 is structural calculation report, 4 copies, and then the 7 is fire report 3 copies. These documents, most often than not, people are of the view that when you are going for these documents, the processes is so bureaucratic. Hence, they are resort to, going the short way. You know what I'm talking about. Pay, and then I get it for you. Today, you have really educated us, because all that I know is we have iron rods. So once I have iron rods, I can build. Now, when you look at the 8 mechanical or services drawing, 4 copies, geotechnical report, structural integrity report, 3 copies, environmental permit, 1 copy, traffic impact assessment, TIA, 3 bound copies, hydrological.
Let me clarify that traffic impact assessment.
That's right.
Which is most of the structures are the major roads, closer to the major roads and what have you. Because of the number of vehicular traffics that will be plying that road, all the time you realize that stretch of land is become very busy.
Okay.
Heavily intense. So it shakes, it vibrates most often.
Okay.
So any structure that comes along those major roads and what have you, they have a special treatment.
Okay.
So it's not anyhow that goes in those things. So if you just go fall on anybody anyhow that come and build this for me, you end up endangering your own self, your investments, and the life and properties of others as well. You see, so that there are requisite structures that must be procedures that must be followed in the various assemblies. That's why the professionals are there. The statutory planning committee responsibility is to get all these documents from the developer, making sure that it fulfills all righteousness. Even the soil that the developer need to develop on will be tested to see whether the soil can take the structure that you are seeing there, the calculation that is going in there. If you should put such magnitude of structure in there, it can stand the test of time. So we don't just get up and just build. We do a lot of things. There's a lot of calculation. At times, that soil there must be excavated for you to bring a foreign material. That's a different soil for a different place. Before it can stand, the building can stand the test of time, even the road as well. But what do we see? Most of the people doesn't understand, doesn't even know. Secondly, the the items you've mentioned, after submitting this, and even let's take it, the assembly has given you a permit, you receiving the permit, that doesn't mean that's the end of it.
Okay.
Even whilst you're digging your trench, the foundation, the assembly, the other committee of the planning committee must be there. The rep must be there to supervise the foundation as what is a reflection on the paper. To see what is on paper is what is on the ground.
Wow. But interestingly, most often than not, people build without the rep involvement.
So that is where you see the reasons why we are calling on assemblies to be proactive. Because that's the requisite mandate of the various assemblies. That's their responsibility. If you get the permit, that doesn't mean you should go and sleep. So after the foundation level, they will come and inspect to see whether the foundation is in conformity with the drawings, the design, the calculations on the paper.
Supposedly you are putting up maybe a 10-story building and all that. Very, very important. Yeah.
You see, so we have 10 stages for inspection. And after even completing the building, you can never occupy the building until the assembly gives you habitation certification.
Honorable, then I per what you are saying, per your analogy, then about 80% of our buildings and roads must be pulled down.
That's where the problem is.
Amazing.
So this has called for a bigger interrogation.
That's right.
And that's the reasons why the chamber in its wisdom has assembled all these big brains and then interrogate the issue. So we'll be coming out with the recommendations accordingly.
Sure.
And then the education starts from there. So there is a lot of ways out there for us. We're supposed to support, to partner the various assemblies to make sure that the education goes down very well with our people. So therefore, it's a good start for us. As the conversation has begun, As you also involve yourself now,
That's right.
we pray that others also join the same, so that at least you carry it across, so that the few who will be listening, at least you try to do the needful, because you have worked so hard to save so much. So you cannot just get up, sink all your investment into one structure. By the time you realize, you wake up, everything is done. If you are not very careful, your life also follows you because of what? Shoddy work or non-compliance of what? Regulations and policies.
So, like you rightly said, you have step 1, submit of application to Secretariat of Statutory Planning Committee, and then 2 is vetting, 3 is collation of technical findings, 4 site inspection, 5 technical consideration of application by technical subcommittee, statutory 6 statutory of application by the SPC, processing of SPC decisions, 8 issuance of a development permit, and 9 appeal or resubmit. So all these processes are laid down, and the professionals at the assemblies are fairly aware and informed. Why do we always do short works? What do you think are the causes?
The cause is simple. As I said, after even assembly giving the permit, at the back of the permit, there is procedure instructions there. So that is where the stages comes in.
That's
The
right.
inspection stages. Every stage have its own inspection before they give you certificate to continue.
That's right.
So if they detect any foul play, which means that particular level or stage must be halted and then do the needful, rectify it before you can continue on that. So that's the reasons why every structure that needs to be developed must be manned with a professional architect, licensed, a licensed professional engineer, a licensed professional quantity surveyor or surveyor.
That's right.
If they are there, they take the mechanical aspects and all the civil aspects, the electrical and what have you. Because even the electrical is also another issue altogether. Because you realize that you wake up and say, oh, this house is burning, and blah, blah, blah. Most of them, as a result of what? Non-compliance to electrical, requirement in the buildings. You see, all those things are part of the structures, the drawings, the design that has been submitted to the assemblies, the calculation, all these things are in there. So if you don't get the professional to interpret this on the face of the paper on ground, that is where you see the challenge. So there is you see, this is a mandate of the assembly. But the problem we have now is most of the developers, they submit everything, and then they attach the CVs or the profile of a professional to the document and submit to the assembly. So that in the book of the assembly, they know that, oh, engineer, so this licensed engineer is going to man this project on this field. This licensed architect is here. This licensed surveyor, so. And therefore, which means the project is good to go, and they've given you a permit. But if they go to the ground to start execution or the construction of the work, you go there, the names you see in the document, the CVs, the resumes you see on the documents at the assembly, it's not the same people you are going to see on the field. This is some of the things that
So falsification of documents.
Exactly. So they use the qualified, the licensed personnel or professionals to secure the permit, but on the execution, you don't see them there. They go and use stuff because they complain that fee. It's better for you to spend a little more for your safety and then to secure your own investment than to rush into it and lose everything, including your life and the life of your family.
So finally, your advice to the citizenry, a Ghanaian and MMDCs.
One thing is, before anybody gets up to build or to do anything, they should try as much as possible to get the assistance of a professional architect, a professional engineer, and a surveyor to advise them of what to do. we have a professional advice to give and to offer. They should call on the professional, Ghana Institution of Engineering, Ghana Institution of Surveyors, Ghana Institute of Planners, Ghana Institute of Architects, Institution of Engineering and Technology, how do you call it, Grader, Ghana Real Estate Developers. They are all there to assist. They should try as much as possible to get closer to these people so that they can give them professional advice upon what to do. At times you'll be thinking they are expensive, they are not. They are not at all.
Because secondly, I saw the permit 100 CDs, the form is 50 CDs, and then all that.
Yeah, and then secondly, the developers also, most of the times, the complaint we get from the assembly says they normally submit certain addresses which are how do you call it, in variance to what exactly is on the paper, how do you call it, what is on the ground. So therefore, anytime I thought they are submitting their request application for building permits, they should try to give their current addresses, their contact, because if you submit the permits, you are not going to get it that, if you submit application for permit, you are not going to get it that very day. The committee will sit to go through, do the due diligence and what have you. So every state, if they have a challenge of clarifications or details, they need to call on you for clarification. But most of the times the complaint is they try calling those lines, it doesn't go through. If that happens, your documents will be there gathering dust, thinking that the assembly is delaying. Most of the times it's not the fault of the assemblies, it's the fault of the developers because the address or the contact that's been given is not the right, the right one. That's right. So therefore, your documents has been truncated because they cannot continue until certain details has been given. So thirdly, the various assemblies must also try as much as possible to be proactive. They be proactive in the dictates of their mandates. They should try as much as possible. Crank the whip. If you start prosecuting,
yes, I was about to ask that. What happens when somebody put up the building without permit? What happens next?
You see, you cannot build or develop without a permit. So if you can be given a permit, but the permit can be revoked by the assembly due to negligence.
That's right.
And if the permit is revoked, you cannot complete that project. If you complete it, you can be pulled down. You see,
then in the next few days, if this law is applicable, then we'll see a lot of buildings on the grounds.
You see, that's the reasons why I am very particular of the various MMDAs. So, my brother, I'm how do you call it? Walking into another meeting. So
that's right. Thank you so much.
I thank you so very much for the conversations, and then this is just the beginning.
We'll talk again. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Bye bye.
All right, so that was the CEO of Chamber of Construction, Cherry, Emmanuel Cherry. Thank you for speaking with us. We are so grateful. 29 minutes on top of the hour, 8 a.m. GMT in the studios of Papalo Radio. We're streaming live on www.modernghana.com, onlineradiobox.com. The show is Mpɔtam Morning Show with Papa Law Perfect. My co-host, David Santos. Show produced by Jude G8. I'm going for a quick break, and when I'm back, we'll go into the hospitals, and the doctor will speak to us. He will educate us on pneumonia. What are the causes of pneumonia, how to manage it, and all that. We are ready for Dr. Brefo Apple Leslie of Standards Clinic in Koforidua. Stickers stay right here. Mpɔtam Morning Show.
yanara. Asampayetia Obayansa fusu obunibia wankana asam Tema futu sam kakre wa supeme Yo kofi Oman ya woman Omani ya memana Genyi baby ako Wachata zaya wareni Wonsom wanyinyi pa Asadipa wofyoye Yamo yemberaye Ebe ya efiyena Omaya umano Omaya memana Hadiwaye nora Nyamichata Nyamana renya Wonso wanyinyipa Sawaya wanabe Yamo yemberaye Ebe ya efiyena Wonso wanyinyipa Zazipa ofyoyo Kamo yemberaye Abeya efiyana Amabeya efiyana Amabeyo Asite beya efiyana Oh Amabeya efiyana Yana Kamo yemberaye Abeya Obrayu arabo Efriana, Eminoa, Camo Embirae, Aveya, Efriana, Listen, Amabeya, Efriana, Abraya, Sabeya, Efriana, Ao, Amabeya, Efriana, Camo Embirae, Aveya.
All right, yeah, my ye or my be ye feminu me nuara a bread drusi is Dr. Brefo Apple Leslie of Standards Clinic in Koforidia is already on the line to teach us. Our radio doctor, I nearly said radio pastor. So, Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
How
boss.
you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm blessed. Oh, the Lord is faithful. How's the family and your
Everyone
patients?
Is fine.
I hope your patients are also doing well.
Yeah, they are well.
We thank God. We thank God. Doc, before we start with our topic, I want you to tell us about the home service. Can you tell us briefly about the home service?
Hear the word home
That's
service.
Right. That's right.
Okay. This is an agenda that was brought up by, let me say, a group of health workers. We've seen that there are cases, we have patients who normally don't come to the hospital and are dying as a result of that. So we've taken it up upon ourselves to be going to various homes to check our patients. Yes. So that is basically something small about the Heal the World home service.
Heal the World home care service.
Yes.
Your health is our priority.
Yes.
Are your schedules so tight that you cannot visit the clinic, or you have aged family or friend who can visit the clinic? Worry not. You can have your medical care at the comfort of your home and at your convenient time. So contact Heal the World Home Care Service on 055-404-1686, 055-404-1686, or 020-264-3942, 020-264-3942. They are in Koforidia, but they can visit you anywhere in Ghana. All right, so Doc, once again, thank you for the opportunity to talk to us this morning. So what is pneumonia? So today we are discussing pneumonia. So what is pneumonia?
when we talk about pneumonia is an infection of the lung tissue caused by lung tissue caused by various bacteria, viruses, or fungi. So when how can I make them for other patients to
no
also
problem.
understand?
No problem.
So yeah, kind of saying lungs. Lungs, how we say tree. Help me with it.
Lungs you kind of saying doc order to us mepama.
Okay. So mostly when you talk of pneumonia, infection of the lung tissue caused by bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Now, when you talk about pneumonia, this is a serious disease. So normally when we suspect someone of it, we start with antibiotic treatment before we even start with lab investigation. Because if you don't do that, we might end up using
doc nanka me yetwa ye wahrawa.
Okay. That's right. Okay. It's a kind pneumonia say wahrawa no atochi makakra. Na touch makakra. Can say pneumonia. Yeah, so that is it.
And what are the causes of pneumonia? Then ebema obienya pneumonia.
Now, when we talk about causes, pneumonia is mostly spread when people infected cough, sneeze, or talk. So by so doing this, they send respiratory droplets into the air. So it is caused by microorganisms. Okay. So microorganism it is Streptococcus pneumonia.
Okay.
Streptococcus
pylorus.
I me breaking the way a cause pneumonia.
Okay.
A be so yeah be say Haemophilus influenza. It is a name way say ubi wo pneumonia ubi will be. Na say be as a obowa and na say or kasaguso and na say ohwensia. Na say a co air now also chiku. Na say immune system man you have a chance to be pneumonia. I feel so. Your pneumonia be a friend aspiration pneumonia. You can't aspiration pneumonia. I know the constitutive organism here, anaerobic organism. I know a gram negative organism. It mostly it occurs in stroke patients, most especially say who did nasa who did net tramwa. That's a duanini be cocoa car or lungs the more. And only a friend aspiration pneumonia.
That's right.
Into the causing your mind be the never way now causing pneumonia. Okay.
Into what are they? Okay.
Yes, I think your hospital acquired pneumonia and more also hospital as a will be got that hospital with overfear with me back. The hospital acquired more. So that kind a firm from a neighbor. You get it. It is a one from maybe I've got the hospital account. Definitely be pneumonia or hospital. It's your will be had malaria and a coin. But to be befiano now boa. It is two one more. Na yeshama.
Doc, yet condition we will fear your office yet ye car moon baby could be a corner. Yes, yenny a pneumonia. I am pa. No quite review.
I am pa. In a sense that you're too to say what to curb. Who took one from AKUFO-ADDO to Accra. Now after air condition bus now to now call. That's will be what pneumonia and they will bus in no boa. Or boy, I can't be any car anymore. It's a one
doc internet is pneumonia from him.
From if I
sir.
Actually.
To be will be now or bow 1 year in a rolly glass and then you were inside that.
So a core system now immune system is stronger. I
see.
Yes. It's air conditioning bus. It's better coffee. The air conditioning baby Luves now. And I say kind of say Obo from a bit me.
So those of us whose rooms are locked up with tinted glasses, and then in the car too, we are at higher risk.
Yes, please. We are higher risk of getting pneumonia.
So anyone can get pneumonia, but some people are at higher risk, right?
Yes, please. Those who have this immunocompromised system. When you talk of immunocompromised system, those who don't have strong immune system. Yes.
Doc, so what are some of the signs and symptoms of pneumonia?
Okay, when we talk about signs and symptoms, a patient can come with fever of a short history. Because a short history, a person also says, "Oh, that been a start yes, but my cats are no payer, na chassis. It's a horse. Now we have productive cough. When we talk of productive cough, your cough not productive. And what you want say, we be over.
That's right.
So that is it. And you rusty or blood stained sputum. Obeti ahoro no color no. Ubo wana ti ahoro no color no mostly no rust. Rust has a brownish kakra.
What about those that have blood in them?
And also be if you have blood in the sputum, it also plays a role. It can be a symptom of pneumonia. It can also be a tuberculosis, but since today we are treating pneumonia,
that's right.
It's also a symptom of pneumonia. Okay. Now, when you bring out sputum and you have yellowish color when the sputum is yellowish, that one too, and also a symptom of pneumonia. When it is greenish too, it's also a symptom of pneumonia. So the colors are rusty or blood-stained sputum, yellowish sputum, and greenish sputum. So when you have these are signs, these are symptoms of pneumonia. Now we have periodic chest pain. When you talk of periodic chest pain, that you experience chest pain.
Okay.
Most especially in the deep and out pain, and that's pain. So say yes, that one to something of pneumonia. I feel breathlessness. People who can't breathe well, get it, or people who can't breathe well. So they that one too is a symptom. Now we have sweating. They sweat profusely. That is also a symptom of pneumonia. We have the muscle aches. Go to joint. It's a joint pain. Taking it lightly. Say got paracetamol.
Okay.
No, because I was saying you really out all these things now. Yes, I feel mostly they use the accessory muscles of respiration and flaring of the nasal margins. When we talk about the accessory muscle of respiration, and now bones and the chest, the chest content. The chest na collabos and the chest na air content. So who's animal we are quickly so multimedia colano eba in termna yeshema. So adults mostly we have rapid pulse rate. But check your pulse say was slow. And then colani now check pulse with people with pneumonia and pulse was slow. Some people too come restless and also confused. So we have patients that only no I confused. Maybe all crown any other.
Pneumonia to be causes
I
see.
Severe pneumonia to be causes that confusion in patients. Okay. Thank you.
Doc, so what are some of the things you need to do, lab investigations to detect pneumonia?
Okay. When a patient cannot suspect pneumonia, most especially we do this fasting, full blood count. Yes.
Okay.
So we do full blood count.
To a lay person, full blood count in a year.
You share your chumojani, I share umojani,
okay.
Jenny friend full black count. After your chat S3, na yashe. Say ewo and I say in the ho. It is no na be a bit my understand. Ya cano if you be sputum grand stain and cultural insensitivity. The amount want ya ro near their collab, near code, near share, say, maybe ever one, and also him, and see, Sani Bay.
How do you manage pneumonia, doc?
Management of pneumonia. Okay, the management, is pneumonia is very deadly. It's in the management, there's two ways.
I see.
Non-pharmacological and pharmacological.
That's right.
But who manage pneumonia? I also treatment objectives.
Okay.
That is it. Because of say, you are using patients. So one, you have to identify patients at greater rates who require in-hospital management. So when someone comes with pneumonia, now a doctor now, as a was so patients here be here so be coffee. And I said patients here be here say be to hospital. It's here. Another objective is say you have to alleviate symptoms because those chest pain, cough, breathlessness, and yet comfortable, sir. So you have to treat and eradicate the infection, and you have to prevent and manage complications. It's the management, non-pharmacological management. If a patient comes with pneumonia, severe pneumonia, you have to nurse the patient in a comfortable position. Usually, I was saying a bashroom. So the head being raised, that's the first thing. I face is a fear, as a shakolano, and I say, share akola. That's a catch you in pneumonia, spongino. You catch all spongina, good. What the tower bones now they have to talk to home for fever. Na ama fever na from send be akra nya days febrile convulsion. I feel so obe many panning in so be pray. So only back on bit me answer so obe many in so be pray na wanom and also to me boy ye. There will be a friend of chest physiotherapy. Then to send a me breathe in, breathe out, chest physiotherapy. So obe many panel aye so bit me tolerating kwa and also bit my na wamanaye. With the pharmacological management, and purely hospital management and academic management, and a drug, Dr. Debamount, Safa. Michelle, your amount antibiotics are antibiotics, you know, 1 day, 2 days, no way. Your making sure so be complete antibiotics. So if you are giving antibiotics of 7 days, complete it for 7 days. If you are giving a amoxicillin, depending on the patient, the state of the pneumonia, pneumonia is severe, so low severity score, less than 2. Yet amoxicillin, yet azithromycin, and I say erythromycin, and I say ceftriaxone. But say here see a to hospitals there. Either say oxygen, and I say on this IV, amoxiclav IV, and then azithromycin. So that is purely the management of pneumonia.
So what are some of the complications?
Now, when we talk of complications, these are one share your diagnosis when you have pneumonia, no one share a bit near a bit near film. The film be said pleural effusion. The pleural effusion is the build-up of fluid between the tissues of the lungs. So in so be accumulative or lungs. What you say? But the funny say, practical example, funny say, who could do so no home? How will you feel? And our casa tissues so no casa. How will you feel? So that is the feeling when you are pleural effusion.
Wow.
That's the build-up of fluid in the lungs. It is so-called lungs, as practical example, na mama, it's a who runs to us now, Casa now, now, Casa, feeling now from Sana, the patient. So, if what's it? Scenario now, Mama.
That's right.
It's I don't know. Now, you will be a friend and Paima, the kind of Paima, the collection or gathering of pus in the lungs. It is a if you either accumulate or lungs in one. And in your friend payment, when to chabit and payment. I think your friend will be pneumothorax. You can't pneumothorax, I say, and from a bitchina or lungs, and from a bitchina or lungs. meningitis. Meningitis here can happen.
That's right.
Meningitis, which means unya pneumonia, no one tritia, ultimina meningitis. A cracker, ultimina septicemia with multiple organ failure. It is one tritia, unya septicemia, the finish umogenoma, spread it to all parts of your body. Not say unipediano. Crackers, one failure, a bit in a few years. So basically, when there are complications of pneumonia.
Doc, this is not part of the questionnaire, but what else can I do to keep my lungs healthy?
Okay, you have to avoid smoking. You have to avoid smoking. You have to exercise regularly. You have to check your diet, and also you have to go for regular checkups to do this liver function test and tests that are good for the liver.
Wow. Doc, your final advice to our listeners and viewers across the globe.
Okay. What I would say is if you get any symptoms of pneumonia, try as much as possible and come to the hospital. Don't take things, don't say, oh, this is a common cold or this is just a cough, simple cough. You have to come so that we evaluate pneumonia and I say acute bronchitis and I then we will decide. Thank you.
Doc, we are always grateful for your time. Thank you for spending your precious time with us. We are so grateful.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We'll talk to you later. Have a blessed weekend.
Thank you.
All right. That was Dr. Mpɔtam Leslie of Standards Clinic in Koforidua. He taught on how do you call it, pneumonia, and I've learned a lot. I mean, I never knew pneumonia can be acquired through the air. Today we've learned. That's why it's good to listen to Papa Law Radio. Mpɔtam Morning Show with Papa Law Perfect on Papa Law Radio. We stream it live on www.modernghana.com, onlineradiobox.com. So I want you to hit the share button, share the broadcast on your page, on your timeline, send the link to your friends. Tell your friends it is Mpɔtam Morning Show with Papa Law Perfect. David Santos,
Attorney General. Attorney.
Today it's been great.
Yes.
So far we've spoken to great resource persons.
Yeah.
We started with your mentor now.
Yes.
Mr. John Appiah.
Thank you, sir.
The president for African Chamber for Youth Development. And then we spoke to
Honorable Emmanuel.
Yes, CEO of Chamber of Construction.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Cherry. And we also spoke to Doc. And Doctor has educated us on how do you call pneumonia.
Yeah.
Your take on these ones.
Okay.
Before the politicians comes in.
They comes in. Yeah. In fact, great delivery. Let me start from my own mentor. My own mentor now is Mr. John Appiah. He's now very soon he will become a president.
Yeah.
That should tell you that if he becomes president, I'll by all means get a ministerial
appointment.
Yes.
Let's see how it
then
goes.
you comes in.
I wish you well.
Thank you. Yes, and in fact, I was very happy when I heard a mentor can be young or old.
Yeah. Your mentor can be, I mean, maybe 20 years. You might be 50 years.
Yeah.
It's all about the expertise.
Yes.
Something I know that you don't know.
Yeah. So I was very happy he clarified that for
That's
us.
right.
Because mostly we think your mentor has to be old, 80, 70.
Than you.
Yeah.
Than
But
you,
then,
the mentee.
yes. But the explanation Mr.
Makes
John,
a lot of sense.
yes, says that somebody who has a lot of experience, so a young person can have a lot of experience, to mentor you, and so we shouldn't say you have been saying something, which I agree with you today. enye se nipa no wanyi a enye obi a na wanyi na wo nyansa.
That's right.
So we should take that from them. And then we also learn the stages.
When you are young and you are foolish, you grow to become a foolish
person,
elder. It's normal.
Yes. So and then from there too, we came to the stages where we learn about the initiation stage, the cooperation, and then the separation stage, where we had a lot of issue when it comes to the separation stage and all that. He right. Educate us on that.
I like the 4 stages.
Yes.
Yes. I like the separation stage and then the redefining stage.
Yeah, I like when you ask questions based on the separation, because we have been getting a lot of issues when it comes to the separation stage.
All right, so hold your breather there.
Okay.
I have on the line our reporter, Ohineba Kofi Praise, on the line. Good morning, Ohineba.
Morning, Papa Law.
Apom to say.
Uchedi apo AKUFO-ADDO roma. Ya moye pa.
Me say the okasa kra. Uchedi apo ahwe oso papa.
E ka me kireo.
Ai. Omo enti se Bible. Na ede na ekoso hi na ujira mete background na me hu say na wo report kese pa magana, especially Mpɔtam morning show listeners.
Mbachane. Okay. All right, me fa kwanya weti echa weti for any wahwefo nyinara. Na me wu ya kwa banso e ba Mpɔtam morning show so.
That's right.
Ye de ya ba de ni aba.
Ya ba pa.
Eti no me na ma epiemu e wo eyetama. Tema site 20.
And next site 20 committee 1 wa go pi.
Bacha ane wana ma be piemu. Na na dim be piemu wa ne se ye ba wo hwe omo ahonini hu sema sanitation. Okure be ka ne se sanitation. Ama hu nie nsem ne de enkoye kura. Wo hwe be bia me gina no eye kwan ho. Na kwan no so gata kese bi eda kwan no. Na kwan na be gina so no kwan a LED echo sama habo.
Okay.
Any town honu mina kwan a echo. Na ade ba ko no se wo hwe gata no nchen a sebe ebinimu bola sam ne niama ne gata na mu afim papa na sebe mpediasa ebi nso den eje na egu gata.
Ya ni nyina wo ho. Na zoom lion for dustbin nya bi.
Mpacho me ba die ebi ni ase.
Ebi ni street ni so. Baby a wo chire de je say ben habo wo ya ben habo runabout o me bo a.
Pepe wa.
Na mum Kwame Nkrumah tema na sisi de ya ni nyina gugu abonte na ye de ball and so gugu abonte nyesa.
Me na me ka me kire wo.
Na che so omanfo ni nya dustbin ni bia na den.
Papa me ba dia mi hu bibia sa wa hai.
That's right.
Ya mi hu ane say ase nipa no omo wia bola na omo chichire no bia ba to kwan no bibia.
Omanfo na ti community ho na.
Sana mi hu no because we hu bebi no na bola na ya chichire e dia ba to. We hu bebi so na aboa no. Ye jedu osa. Yem fa hwen kan we. Agata no so a wo ho na esufe mu no. Gata no so bola aye mu ma. And at the same time, no, so no. Sebe sana mi di kankan no. Ebi su jaw mo na egu mu. Na me bia nhwe mu kodu baby no. Amo say nkofo mu jaw mo na egu mu. Junkies ye won boys bi no aye from junkies. Omo na nam sebe se adesa sa no mo nam no mo koba up and down na. No mo ni baby o meja mo na no mo de gata no. Janabia no mo jaw mo na egu. And na drivers from so na omo twika kese na omo kolonje no. Sometimes no. So omo park car no wo ho. No money baby sabi omeyo mu ya
so omo tika ni ma so omo team no omo fa ho ye omade
sa pepepe
na se we de suban papa
adia emi se ababe kodanda ne adwendwen a ewo nipa na baby no won so nipa so eton ade wo enfofo ho a eton ade edi eton nyama wo Mpɔtam ho no enti na eyedin pa na me ne pani bi wo ha ambese me de ma no na me ka no o wa bakwasam kakra wo ho a opese o ma papa law etiefo etie
ma me ne nkasa
macho hello
opanyi machi
ya hinwa
ejana bokode
hello
eja bokode
onyame adumboko
memo akwa baba papa law radio so ya reporter ejira won chen na waba beto more sanitation issues be wo into opese
hello
opese on here kasa openyi utimenka
me too
aha
dede o ha
ha ni pa me ti background me ti wo background se de utimenka wa hu yese ma ho tie na nkoyie wo ho no de na obeka
mene oweka no akasa ma church no ye koso ha nyina
that's right
se me kasa baby am yati ye gina say 20 bus stop
ye hwe video no kura sisi ya
20 bus stop bus stop kese nti ya tonton nyema e wo pan ho ha no ye bus stop no area no baby a bus stop no ya tonton nyema ho ha na ya tonton nyema ho ha no ufi man kwazo run about that ufi man kwazo run about that na I go habo habo na ya make us na ha no program sanitation program no ya boy ho modin ya obi aba o sese ha kama ni akwa no tie makwa
eye mo manfo na mo wo ho no mo amotete ho
ya ton ade o ha ni de
okay
yesia kama anopa bia na ya boa no na tie me nso omo ka na ọma besisa ni nyina gum na mo de ko enti ha de na mom ufi runabout ma mankwazi runabout ma on se ho no de enipa nurse wo ho no enipa nton ade wo ho enti ade sa na donkey fo no omo ko de nfofo bola na mo ji huska na ma chi so obotom abia na obi a ha ye din no ma betu egu ono enti abia betu no na fe egu bebre basa bes yeso na tie me ko no mo ya de enti no pasa no mo ba omo sisa ni nyina besisa ni nyina aguta ni mako abia na abia tia omo san dia begu ho
nti akoye se openyi to aso
enti
akoye se mo siesie ho na ade enche no na anajo ye junkies ya
mentu yiyo
me say mo siesie ho na eho eye cleaner na eho ye neater hello openyi openyi utemenka eja utemenka
hello
I think so we are struggling you be send the reporter Ohineba Kofi Prince atosubi na yama na reported or community 1 site 20 na chese o hwe bola eda mo Facebook mo Facebook na mo mehwe o hwe bola ne gota ne chete fini sebi ya ni aye guwa 21st century na sadie we was a cost assembly mobile basis a wura no it's not enough Ohineba eja
hello
eja otemenka eja otemenka eja otemenka
okay
afi otemenka
hello
cheso hwe efia egu ho ne ene 21st century pa odasani ekọ sebi oja ne nan a no de agu polity mu na ye gates mu chokia ni edi aban atem ye catch that aban say aban mehwe sometimes when you hear these things it's heartbreaking anu na ma hu se Ghana we have a long way to go tema haya when you kurasi you tema a metropolitan assembly aye wo mayor obeko district assembly omugo ho panyifo go sanitation department omugo ho o hwe ye kan say TDC tema development corporation egusu wo ho TDC gusu jijiska TDC gusu jiji enkofosika ene yete ho ena yem pese ye beye de e wo se ye ena o man ne say ye wi a ye say aban you see in as much as I believe say ye mo aban ye chi no ɔmanfo ni suban so etan ɔmanfo a yɛne ɔmo ti kuro yi mu no ɔmo suban etan sɛ junkies fo ya mo kan if is anything to go by a was assembly the mass security take charge because every metropolitan assembly you can say district security almost district security a police for wom soldier for wom fire service for wom national security na ye wo maimo ye wo ayi district ayi so district security wo ha e de na omo ye ya ka you see ye nyai sa ye kan sema na ye jato no action alantremate baby a obi a misalutu o say no action talk only kasa tenten en toponko kasa wa en toponko eti wo pese wo sai man wo wia no asa kocha ye kohunu nsuo na ne akogina na tifi ne ye bisa sai na hwan na ahunu nsuo hwan na ahunu nsuo wa hunu nsuo ye de moye we ni asan disika ko shem sanitation levy and now pa ko ne ko didi wo restaurant o se shem sanitation levy shem yan kote ya say COVID-19 ya pamo na ni habie WHO a declare Ghana president Mpɔtam AKUFO-ADDO last week we declare say COVID-19 ni hobie and so levy ni gusu yetua tax ni yetua yan kote ya say adwuma ya sha ase ye for COVID ye nti wo say ekoso jiska on ba bia yetu now o manfo no botai ben pa de simoni so botai ben e de simoni so adie na mo ya mo man no afa ne ntamapa afira we anya president de beba yi Mpɔtam abetwitwi ho wo na wo say wo ye dai utwitwi ho. This nonsense must stop. Operation this nonsense must stop. Enya idea ye kire no because of mine ye a ye ma ye nyina community 1 for side 24 more reported case in the informal assembly official mamu momo me famura nenko sebi obi wu obi mekeka makochi musika samu kotumura negu na moteta na mu se hwa yedin a na mo bejegu oman bofo osi kro ni mu ase ye nyina tim jimi se hunu ko na yedi wo man ensem ahu hia adia ensem fata no ne ye jimi na doso. That is why politicians will always take advantage of us. God knew onim se wo hwehwa ye bread and butter wo ye che 100 Ghana cedi na wura fi wadwen ebinie wakojiska so kotu ball egu wateta wahuso bia ni onim se abobo ya afo ni bizu ye bi they do it wo so mo teta na dwonu akohwe egu baabi no wadwane because emra nya djuma okuro yi yante ya no so ma fixe cameras within the metropolis eye djuma na nya djuma ni aboka ni abamount ni dia to o pe eti ye blame ya ban no ye so ye blame ye ho we are too irresponsible wicked citizens eti bon ko na mo ko report na a process for and taking the matter on they can go there and do what they call a survey or surveillance normal monitor the ekoso wo ho ye wo team mo monitor ye wo team mo patrol. That's the word I was looking for. Those who patrol at night, they can be there. Mayor monke come mo so de efra mo se ye pese ya ne mo kasa mo pese mo beka egumutiri so eya mo beji position na mo ru afise responsibilities ka ho yen sisa ya bra bone ye magana emfa ne tama pafura o mampanyi ye ne dia won so ye wo de o mine be ye fi me ne umie no ara na one shoes eboa amye de Mpɔtam morning show abro Shaba Rich photography Papa Law Farms Lottie Law Balloon Deco and Ketu Farms omo na oma so masen ma me di dwumadi bro me ko break me ba a fire on the mountain.
Can you do wafa? Simpower yes na winya. Ya Yamishira, Omani Paya, the Poa, and Yanum. Yafanya Misroya, Jumana, Yami Besrayan, O'Brien, Boya, Yamoya Murae, Abeya, Fianara, Amabeya, Fianara, Yanoma, Asitabeya, Fianara, Amabeya, Fianara, Azize, Yamoya Murae. Asampaetia Obayansa fusu wo munibia wanka na asam Tema futu sam kakre wa asupeme Yo kofi Oman ya woman Omani ya memana Genyi baby ako Wachaza ya warenyi Wonsom wanyinyi pa Kasadipa wofyoye Yamo yemberaye Ebeya Ifuyena Omaya umano Omaya memana Adiwaya nora Yamitada Yamana renya.
Alright, one some yeah the nipa and yeah Mpɔtam morning show with Papa Law Perfect. We're streaming live on www.modernghana.com online radiobox.com. My co-host David Santos. Show produced by Jude GH. MPP4 kwa koto ababiem yesanya another by election. Honorable Jachi Kwese James Jachi Kwese yetwa banim parliamentary election no yetwam enti say Supreme Court ama order say yenyini din yenspanje ni din emfamfi parliament kire say onye parliamentarian Emma Asen not BM and nona edia kwenya beto say was say EC sanhye election EC at the 27th of June ato say ye ko ne asa akoto aba na yeyi okanifo obedi Asen not for enim eye Asen not constituency. Interestingly enra officially the same person ye twana bamu no or sign akugina wo NDC anamu we yin hu asi wo wakari no ho still obesan akọ because o ye legible and say oto ye to ne so aba e ma obeye MP a eyeye me wa homa ne so ye honorable Kofi Amponsa o ye MPP communicator ayawa so West Wogon. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, doctor.
Who dey there?
The who dey sa shawo fompa.
O say
me who dey sa shawo fompa.
Hey, what your cancer man no patutu.
I know.
Na honorable when you bibie di there.
Oh, aja olumai afena de achinte. Ya say hamunwe ya yensitim pom nti o say ehwe nkwala na sa aja ye de ne mpanfo nti.
Ane uti so ya to twade emfom.
Sa
dodge crab account.
Be account sa.
Na NDC for say comedy omopa o. I say mama pa.
Why money kasa
NDC for no munuanom.
Sa.
So man mu yaye den no.
Ene mama fa kwanya so na me chia no production team.
Yasom.
Na mose na adwuma so amodebo magana.
Ejesu akronto.
Mechia ayawa so west wogonfo nyina ene MP Obatampa Maledia Sayram Alhassan. MP papa mempa bone se constituency bia benya MP outesa.
John Dumelo so betu no.
Oh, no de sabi.
Also atu ni kura wie.
Sabi no de sabi mpanfo ani ma di achi atopabu.
O se
sabi di achi atopabu.
O de to aso ai.
Ene nka ho bi.
To aso.
Yes sir ye wo Libya na ye wo fene bi. O se Libya for say di chiriwe a. Eya omono Arabs no so omukum omo na ntwe ne sabi ayamwa no mo na ni ti ne nan ne mu nyina no omo mpe.
I see.
Nto omu twitwa abo ne ti ne nyina no de abesi ne fie anim ti ye na duru sata na ekutakuta boto call round sesa ne nyina na ye de aba. Na ya beto tun na twe ti say nam ko a.
De papa.
Ne de china wurade ye de china fa ho ne yahu ne sa ya ho ne sa. E ne ye duru ho de a.
O ma dom ko onra bo de to aso.
Ai ndi ye say na twetwe sabi alaji mfa ho. Entino machia obapa Maledia Sayram Alhassan. Na NDC force komode won.
Papa o se obi a wo di wo kasa o man mu e de no e kromfo ana se onya bidintia.
NDC for na e kasa sa. Na krofo o mutumi koto play me etwa agent so.
O muto play agent so.
Agent so.
E bas na na.
Ento so esika o modi area na. Na bia so no 254 million euros Dubai sacred Dubai no mo yesi ho man kankra no mo yesi ho mfa so na da so mo de ewe na obi e komode wo mo na one candidate otumeche sikama all the NDC polling station executives across the country na wonya sa scan one.
That's right.
Mo bisa jo mama sasa sika no nya no yin na bisa mo so se e den ti na se edun katia ka se on pe candidate afi no no be ye fundraising dia mano
a opedi owo sika dada
se opedi owo sika na dada na nya bia no jo mama ni fie ni etu diamond no etian this for the sabio.
You have just 1 minute remaining.
Honorable Besa. We lost Honorable Kofi Amponsa on the line. David Santos,
Attorney General.
Yankasa.
Yeah.
Mr. John Apia.
Yes. We have got into another stage. Yes.
Another stage.
So as I said,
politicians will always be politicians.
Yes. So as I said, John Apia. He has given us an insight.
That's right.
On when it comes to mentorship, and I wouldn't like to repeat all that he said, but I believe all those who have time to watch us, to listen to us, have taken something important from the impact.
That's right.
From John Apia, and also he ended by saying that if the person that you are mentoring, or there should be boundaries between the mentor and the mentee.
That's right.
Especially when it happens to be opposite sex. And then we end by saying that when it comes to unfair manipulation,
niama sisi pa.
Niama SCC ewo hono. Offer and 12 midnight.
Kind me then say our friend mentee no bisan say wada o ye day. Me what be. But AC pa
AC and so osise pan
bisa so shedden won hwan na wo ho
yen video call as you are lying to me sad adie no
no ka mentorship
no ka ho
kasi so no ka
o de ese eno na waka no eno nka ho
e na to be no mentee so ntwempna o no mentor
de bi
because dia na obe
but me de say wa bisa sa question say o bisa first na on tini yenti o ma o say I agree with you and later oba back to explain it for them to understand.
Right.
But na I'm happy you asked that question because enu SCPA when it comes to the opposite sex.
Ebia toda.
O say
Ebia toda.
Oh, but
maybe sir.
Attorney. May you me amount.
Santos.
Oh. Yeah, what my yen
the job day down,
Dead down.
To win him. Twas.
And to say,
oh, me boam walk on us.
Okay.
Obi can as out to me one walk.
Yeah. No, and the old woman pa. Yamishra, open yache. And to say, Banisa, please, I beg you. Free sir mentorship. No, Johnny Cra
borrow legs.
Yes,
run away.
And no say Banisa Mpacho John Nekope baby te. Ye ubet me afreye, ye ufreya, ye bet me amo nipa. Bet me a mentor. Papa entine eye
anya mafia phone.
Debbie. Or chere wa de na
phone bi ho ahene.
Debbie, hey.
As a teacher phobia minimum.
Bet me abodin.
Debbie.
Adentina want me mbo.
Debbie.
Obi ya de anya bonidine bonechi.
Oh, se me na ka wokokoam dada.
Watini wa said ye.
Watini wa.
Anye.
Me ba kan radio so amayi na ma. A teacher phone bi ho ahene papa.
Yeah. Any dey no kre.
Omo hadwi, omo hankola no.
Obi wo kwa ochire wa de na ni hu kika ni say ya.
Boss, let me spell the name of the school on your chest.
Yes. Yeah, well. Anthony.
All right.
Continue again.
Hold your breather. Honorable Kofi Amposa, we lost you on the line.
Yeah, doctor.
But you're to us. Now, yenko yasem so. I say not. And no video be called viral. Minim se wehua. Me hu se a great dan nature said a year more the year kwan yi and nam so excavator and nam ase not ho and ye kwan yi see a year na no pa wie nwumra najo and the binum ani agi na binum nso ehuru mam si ehu MPP4 ehu
acting na NDC for koye no ase no phone
almost ya den na mwatwen ya
acting na NDC koye omukwa acting wo ho NDC for na court stages you know acting no
that's a bibia NDC.
And I'm telling you, now in Crawford, ye nim the omutume, Sabio Cafracha, Menkata mess yaw. And you know who you are Mokosha in spaces or heaven. Now I'm over NDC, a political party and no mutikuru manner. And no more Mokosha mess spaces or heaven, and I know Nikuru.
A video be and also by almost say. Or heaven or
yes, I am yes a Ghana for the beer no more political party from NDC. No mama dada or my junior no more power the amomo. By it's time also Ghanaians to make national mobility NDC every Ghana politician. A political party they came with coup until they don't have ideology until all they study from day one. Rollins is free so mobile. What was saying this for to make the policy about say we need a policy direction that they be minder. Doctor, what will be that?
Oh, say a bill war. Say a
policy by try me at the back who will be to me a
one time premium.
Omo the buy.
Or say
to me the buy.
No more young jumana.
Oh, and then Mr. Omu to me the buy.
Nothing no more deba.
Oh, Dia will trim. Wasum dae wo trim eno na wo de bumai en na wo katre
honorable de to aso
na hon metro masem so no sebio ka frache obuo na yi omuni magana fo ntra na ne ye ka asem na line drop in wo se NDC fo se Ghana ye den en na Ghana fo niska en na ye bre enti let's assume without admitting say enti di omo kano no kra enti joma ma na ebeji e frisa wo hawni ye be so mo question say enti Ghana ye den pass de omo kan ye wo how AKUFO-ADDO de o me ye hwe ana de o ye bia so omo hui enti ye pe obi mana ba beje ya no mama na say ye da Ghana fo be di lie asa de NDC aba power bi no Yakopon be do me ye say de odome so do me ngomo
abotre
oh yes makasa say mesa kan bi im say mi wukura me kra me sunsun be di adase na Ghana fo be kai sa asem we record to me say da Ghana fo ebesa ye mistake sam pampa sa sebi ye de ye yale refri adwene ni yetrim na ye koto aba na ya kekere nti ye besa ko di lie ato aba ma NDC no Yakopon be do me ye say de odome so do me ngomo because political party look at candidate Kromodiaba Now look at Nesamo Namoka, Nkukobuon Ketinkete, Mprekobuon Ketinkete.
I was say Sakoko
to be modern Ghana.
Or say Sakoko need to mean to be a manuaton.
I know what on. Sabi a memory yaba in the 21st century. Now open policy the amount of mobile energy mania. Nkukobuon Ketinkete now. Oba so no confirm ni season. Let's fast forward. Before send me with I send off no. Okuja to abrakwa. What besides a brabe no boy ya? Otume charter flight edekoye wedding or not. Na president otu kwan ko fa sika ba no. Osori ya no de na betna TV so. Se president igale opre se bi yale nti no wabeka asem we ya kire. Okuja to abrakwa brabe no boy ya onya sa sika no. Ghana for mo besides asem. Mikrofo no omusu se Ghana ye den no. Bisane se brabe no boy onya sika didi sa adwuma. Okuja tabra kwa koma wasi teachers who said then they award on constitution. Also talk koma doctor be man rejected. Ama doctor ne catch say me hu bra wa ba obema ma award atoka de amame. The ministers are doctor. Okuja to abra kwa ko. Mu de mu media for just go and find out. Go and check. This okuja to ya ne kodi mutu ya 200 million yere free ne kam. Okodi mutu yo keke trouble. We net TV ne radio so catch Ghana ni say wo de wo nwene nti on no catch us o my mind on no be your savior fellows of Fosupati etumi to fie mienu $3 million brabe no boy nti mo man krofo we be dada mo da bia na mo de akoto aba mo no ma be repu o man no
eno no allegation of former
president allegation Rollins a founder or not any person na nu masem enya allegation Rollins as a founder of the NDC or no worker we have the video Ojina Ndc for so anim na no worker sa boy na djuma be no ye ya onya sika kwoto sa afie no enya allegation enti nkrofo we na ya because CPP4 na ye na se CPP4 we ya omutumetena ase na ko mu protect Kwame Nkrumah legacy me enya strong political party omo ideology like CPP naka omo be the second force nke the NDC for na mo omo ye no mo NDC for this capital mo no mo nyina ehwete a group party no God being so good to enya political party like MPP your ideology ye woni so ade hu na ye dibu man nanka buga for
MPP my ideology ni say
your ideology ni be na we believe in policies a move o mind dey o my konanim
e bi ne de why
e bi ne one district one factory e bi ne free senior high school me amanya kwanya nkobi menu ya no me wofase mokobi one village one dam look go across the country kobabi abekachi so AKUFO-ADDO project enye green book mo enye green book mo
Elmina fishing harbor no Elmina fishing harbor no wan
obeya mama su said
Elmina fishing harbor no MPP nkwa na ye
na hwan na ye bia mpacho hwan na ye
yesi omampanyi Dada John Dramani Mahama edi ye kan say de mode fish ni begun your friend say yes or no so di bia besisi wo dada
no krona ko dina fa say saka wa fishing harbor o de yesi o de o na wo kan o nyame na meka nti nkrofo na say no krona asa ko dina fa say saka wa fishing harbor. Is that the case?
John Rabo, oh, sure, send not no.
Asen no for seat. We may say asen no for cry, may say. We my in fact government machinery be uncle.
There be Juwa
no see enjoy Canada, Japan, keke.
Juwa ni lusu ye to judge question. It's then a chess mobile sign every.
That's why you Druan here, then a problem. Chance in be an anymore so. Druan this time, uncle. Chance in be an anymore so. Nti Druan lusu ya am presented Druabi. Yeah, political party very strategical. Yeah, ya de bia keke. Sabi o kafrache. Sabi ya num bi here your monema basa na omo hure sim. Omo no money material so. Omo like human resources. Omo ni human resources. Won. Enti yeah de now the
omo ni bri sempa na wosre no.
Oh yes, omo like human resources so. Oh yeah the buya so kra.
NDC so were men no, they have the men.
Oh, why money men no.
Oh. Ono abu asie du nketia wo.
Oh, sabi ye pedua bu aboya so kwa abofre. Ye pedua bu aboya so kwa abofre.
Kojobonsu Betty Modi Drisu.
The ones that Dr. Kura Obrands or Abodin, Obrands or Wenyabi. Yeah, the Atwa Petit, Atwa Petit Babia, Atwa Petit, Waymo.
Honorable T, young election. Or Quine Benso, a quine more yen and a junior, and
I send off when you buy elections in 10 years. Go to a send off. Go not Sabioka Frater into your Becoba elections to projects I in Indiana. It's because you become by elections to the enjoy projects I in Is that the case?
Or somewhat was
open
coincidence.
Doctor, I seen of your projects were harder though. Astro tests near you go to a sin of what they call and videos. More Okwa Kobisa says, I find a year no near by elections. So to say by elections,
it is a by election in soon to the Modia who ordained some questions.
Oh, I'm paying for boo baby. Say, I'm kind of simple. Yes, say, oh, fruit, you are now to toes, we are there now to toe, Nina, said, then whatever. And what then, yet the project are my contractor, you go so ye wo. I send off for any central and Mpɔtam. And yeah, Hong Kong across the nation, ye project. And a coincidence. Asemaba and the Ecoba elections. For that reason, no, it's the entire project na ye nada. Okay, in any case, then tina am I a twaba?
A twaba
say no current in the area. Aha, and they been young puntu near quine hospitals near the end of the twaba.
No quarry.
That's a me. Entino, maybe say, say, no to near to Abanasa. Yes, is it news?
Anti the opposite and say development now more and almost soon to Abama, yes, sir.
Nasa and Nasabioka Frat and Yanko Fadeva, my Bobra, Nabra boy in our green book, and my Uncle Fanamla.
Nabrabo,
we probably saw the FDBC was or Yajuma. Nabra, the old green book, knows or Cotoman.
One brabo, no green book.
And then this. I'm a bravo, you know, green book.
Honorable T. Jachi Quasin, sir, Obesamba.
Jachi Quasin, so Obesamba.
And Mubasa Lucio.
Or some of the Obesano.
Ose.
Or some Obesano and Naturasem.
Sir Jachi Quasin bar, or man for nature, say, on Betuaman.
Ah. Oh, my Metias, a crowd, who are more a janka.
Ose.
Oh, my Metias Kuran, one now, we are more by a jankano. And no Abrabo Beconin.
Honorable Yanko MPP, flag bearership race, no. Honorable Alan Kojuche Martin, Wafa form, Dr. Koto Seafa form, Honorable Kwabena Japan, Wafane dear, His Excellency Dr. Mahmudu Baumia, Honorable Boache Jakon, Honorable Francis Adai Nimo, Honorable Dr. Kofi Apraku. Mr. Kojopoku, or your energy expert or more party yamu or new beer
you see the lineup. You see the lineup. And I might submit to what Manute Major as a MPP.
As a more man. Okay, Mammy French to Canada, Japan, so at a home. Sadly pay. Dear now walk a far woman now. Any part one lineup poor moon personality, sir. Omubie bedigana anymore or the Ghana Becon and pa. That's right.
Now, Omakoye nipa duide, said the part in the constitution, they can never cause one. So go there and select our best five. To be anywhere or come matter or best selected the bad candidate. Yes. And the best selected the best five among them. Though women they have all the qualities. But we are there, said the cut-off point to be at honor. And you know, your cut-off point in the Eba was selected the best five among them. Now, you are, you do a better as here in the near 2 in the phone. Into a movie, obey the party, no, every day, party no Ghana. A bedroom pen, so I ain't because foundation I have built the ammonia money tree. Obi or baby expected for so wine, or the Ghana Becon and impart to the next level. Unless say you could mistake near the ai kwasi basashi adefo yi ebegu egu enye hwefo esamba na omusan bedwiri gudia ene na say ya na me kan but apart from that the minim say nyame ebehye ne honim
afutu be na de be ma MPP for ne Ghana for nyina
afutu am de be ma MPP for especially ya crofo du a omakofo ayi nyina na say de omo campaign si kona obi e tere de obetumi aye na omani swade hunu no so ye ne ma kese a ede Ghana be kona nim sabi enye ye nam ne etwa dapa nkukobuo ne ambul motre ne dabi ye de ni swade hunu papa bi na de atofo mo nyina campaign e ka kire Ghana for na so mo kom me akura de me fe ne se nipa wo kuru mu nyina tumpum all those mo ko shia omo polling station and as delegates ebeto aba mo no obia te se Bawumia na eba omu jibum Kennedy na eba omu jibum ala na eba omu jibum we kire odo a Ghana for woma MPP party nti de ebesere ne so omo fa saa ahombrase ne kasapa ene suade hunu pa na omo da na didi a kire delegates ene Ghana for no omo fa ne saa nko na nkoye kasa ntwitwie ne sebi kasa bi a ebeda meji obi at the end of the day no ye koyi ne ba untumi enko ne nchena yenka momo enje victory e Ghana for ti afutu ambe me nyina ho ne se ye osonoma na akonwa to ofie na ye de ye Democratic Party
osonoma mi gina na ne manyina
eso ho na ne magina nti ye Democratic Party nti ye nyina ye ba kopre akonwa ne ye wi a ye san ba fie ye nti se krofo o mo de ye be kyekyere ne aka kyere se ye de ye we ya onno be wi ama ye wi
ye se wan o kasa ba ko no anto bomb ba ko anko
politics ne ye o mo de o mpedi obewi ya no mo so wi bi di bi ma mi di before no
ye ntesa honorable ye better say republic
mesomeda
Honorable Kofi Amponsa David Santos
Attorney General
politician
they always have things to say
just say Kofi Amponsa kasa no wan to ba ko amma ye kan say
NDC
na chese
ni hunto
ya frɛ no oba papa
wa boa ni papa
37 minutes on top of the hour 9 a.m. GMT in the studios of Papalo Radio. We're streaming live on www.modernghana.com, onlineradiobox.com. I want you to hit the share button, share the broadcast on your page, on your timeline, send the link to your friends. Mpɔtam morning show. Oman be ye if you mean me nuara. Bohomodin na ye wa famudie. Yamendum no moye. Pija or no share with munyam. And nankaza yan shed danye ya dwens ye bear politics. But na akwenya na base ye bisa few questions because ye won't say jachi question assign I declare say or be contested for that same not a constituency and MPP for so to draw na gusu efa form so na mebobo din no mami senti mu bi honorable Alan Kojoche Martin wafa form Dr. Kuto say wafa form honorable Kwabena ye Japan wafa form His Excellency Dr. Bawumia on also wafa form honorable Boachie Jakon honorable Francis Adai Nimo Dr. Kofia Praku, Mr. Kojopoku, Honorable Kennedy Japan, and finally, Honorable Jogate. What's not, if you kuma a seat in a swat check, is also a person, a flag bearer, no be president, and so our Ghana. Honorable Jogate, a fine, legal brain, one of them. David Santos,
Attorney General.
Kasa.
Okay. Attorney, thank you so much. I would like to end on the mentorship that we had with John Appiah. And he ended by saying that unfair manipulation. Se banisa na yene hunu se mentor no nitimu yesun. There's no one street light ewo hono. And you have to run away from there. And so
street light
biani ho esum die
adwe bone na dos
edosun ho hono.
Eso obo na no muti him say ya.
Yes, and Banisa, Mr. John Appiah is telling you to run away. Don't waste your time. Yes, and so that is it. Away from that, let me come to a doctor. Doctor also, open up things that we don't. Yes, pneumonia, and we've learned a lot today.
That's right.
Things that we don't even know.
Transmitted through the air.
through the
That's
air.
amazing.
Yes, I didn't know.
So if you have a lot of people inside the car where all the glasses are up, and there is no other external air blowing in there, when the person coughs and your immune system is not strong, or you have a higher risk of contacting or getting pneumonia. It's amazing.
Yes, I didn't know.
I mean, through these, and then you spoke about air conditioning. Those of you who sit inside air conditioning 24/7, you need to be very careful.
So once a while, you have to come out, even when you are working at the office.
That's right.
Sometimes you have to get up and go outside so that the natural air can blow through you. And so we've learned a lot today. So it's very important that every morning when you wake up, the only station that you can listen to is Papa Lord Radio.
Here we
educate.
Yes. We started by educating you on mentoring, and then the health segment. It's great. It's great.
And then away from that, let me come to Honorable Kofi Amponsa. You know, politicians, as you said,
will always be politicians.
Yes.
They know how to play the game.
Yes.
He is alluding to the fact that development projects are underway already, ongoing in the Asen North constituency.
See the toiling.
Yes. So at the end of the day, it's just coincidence. It's coincidental when it comes to this election. So they won't stop working.
They won't stop.
They will keep working.
I told you that I always say this that when it comes to strategy, the MPP, they are very smart. Very, very smart. You see how he's speaking. Every question you pose to him, he has something to add it up.
He will answer the question.
Yes.
He will just go elsewhere and come back.
Yes, and come back.
By the time you come, I mean, the question won't be answered.
Yes, and so, but you know, yes, we should all agree that it's because it's getting to the election time.
That's right.
That's why they are doing the project that they started yesterday, and the people of the Asin North, they are I don't know whether they are hooting them. Yes, who. We should agree to that, and they are all involved, both NDC and MPP.
But Kofi made a great, submission. He said, yes, if they are developing the place. I asked him, so you are going to win the election? Are you going to win because of the roles you are doing overnight and during the day and all that? He said, if there is development, why do you vote? You vote for development. So if you are seeing development, why not? Then it means you have to vote for me.
Yes, that is true.
You want development.
Yes, we voted for development, so and that is what they are doing. But they are doing it in a way
strategical.
Yes, to get something out of what they are doing. And so it's up to the people of Asin North to decide whether
they are using what they have to get what they want.
Yes, so they should decide. So that is it. But that is going to be this election, because Jechikwesi is coming back again. Is going to be something else.
That's right.
Yes.
Is it going to be the tests for the 2024 election? Are they tested, the MPP and the NDC testing the atmosphere when it comes to elections in Ghana? Because the MPP said their victory starts from Kumawu. And so winning the Asin North seat will give them a lot of confidence to say that yes, we've won Kumawu, we've won Asin North, which was the NDC seat. I for now will say an illegal seat, because the Supreme Court had declared it vacant, and Parliament wrote to the EC to do the needful. And the election has been slated for June 27th, 2023, and I also believe that the NDC also want to prove a point. If I have not been able to speak with any lawyer, but if per the law, or looking at the face of the law, Jechikwesi still qualifies, then it's going to give MPP a good run for their money. And their so-called developmental project within that constituency. Yes, but
they are not afraid.
Now, the NPP can also not be predicted this
Yeah.
time.
We know them.
Yeah, yeah.
We know them to be. But Attorney,
Yes, sir.
before, I don't know whether I should say it here, but if MPP are able to win that seat, then 2024 they should forget about it. You
NDC should forget.
They should forget. You mark this thing. If they are able to win a synod,
Then it means MPP can do anything.
then you should understand when they say they have the men. I'm telling you, this is the fact. If they are able to win, that is happening on the 27th. If they are able to win that seat, then 2024 they should forget about it.
Why?
I'm telling you, because now who here the we are
As a political expert,
and I make
that's
a
your prediction.
Yes.
So you think that's the test?
That is the test
for the NDC.
Yes.
One of the biggest.
Yes.
Already, right from Kumawu, the MPP's national organizer, Nana B, was already in Aseno.
Yes.
And MPP has slated their election just 7th.
They should,
to
you
choose
see,
their.
NDC should change
And
their
Kofi
game.
said they are not bringing a drawer.
So they are preparing somebody else to come.
Somebody who has influence.
Yes.
I suppose.
So if they want to, then NDC they should change their game. They should change the oil.
He said they should leave everything to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Yes. Do you know the reason why he's saying that?
He has influenced.
Yes, man.
Well, he has a good relationship with
them too as well.
With the central.
Yeah. Attorney.
Yes, sir.
Last one before we go. Attorney, let me come to the chamber of comment, their issue or their comment that they have made. And do you know that, excuse me to say, the district assembly, which is the metropolitan assemblies, yes, excuse me, they are useless.
That's too strong. Redraw that.
Okay.
Use another.
They are lazy.
Yes, that would
very lazy to my liking.
I know because many a time you go there when people want to go through even proper process or follow the procedural rules or lay down procedures.
Yeah.
A lot of people are denied. There's so much bureaucracy.
Thank you.
Go and come tomorrow. Even our passport offices, go and come tomorrow. So people get tired and somebody will present a good offer.
Oh.
If you can pay so amount, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to do this for you. Why wouldn't I go for it? Registrar General, go there. People don't go there again. Yet their companies are registered.
Yes.
Ghana here. And I have evidence. Me, I don't talk about things without evidence. I have evidence of people who wanted to register their companies and they never stepped foot
to the registrar general.
Yes, but they have their certificate.
Yes, so it means that
I agree with you.
That institution is no there's no use of it now because of their behavior. Now you see,
pay and get.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so it means when it comes to pay and get, you are not going to get the good service that you are, because the person can bring anything at all to you, and because the person have paid for it. No matter what, you have to accept it, whether it's good or bad. See, after them permit, they are supposed to be to go to the site.
Yeah.
Inspect.
There must be a rep before you hit the grounds. Let me say this. Before you hit the grounds running.
Yeah.
The assembly must give you a rep.
A rep.
That is after you have paid for the form. And then the permit and blah, blah, blah.
The certificate and others.
Yes. So after you have the permit, even after getting the permit, according to Emmanuel Cherry, it can even be revoked. They can take the permit back.
Okay.
If you don't follow proper procedures in your quest to build. And so if you have the permit, that is not all. The assembly must appoint a rep to be there when you are doing the, how do you call it, the digging of the ground or foundation, I mean. So you got that right.
Yes. They have to be there. They won't. lazy people. So not even only the foundation. So every stage that you get to, there should be a rep. They don't. They are just sitting in their offices and I don't know what they are doing there.
Ask me if they even allow people to go through the right process. It's pay
and get.
That's it.
Attorney.
Ghanaians are now used to, let me save money and go and pay huge amount of money and get the document.
Simple for them.
Because you've been accused and the next thing is our system is down. We have light out. So you go and
there's
come
no
next
A4
time.
sheet.
So, that's right.
And all that.
So at the end of the day, the officer is on leave. The officer, the Mebayachers, they are mostly there.
Yeah.
They are mostly there. You know, and this we are paying all these people. Our taxes. We are paying them. They are there doing nothing. Yet
every month
they are being paid.
Yes.
What is wrong with us?
That is my question. What is wrong with us? Attorney, do you know that the collapsing of buildings, killing a lot of people in this country is as a result of irresponsible duty of the metropolitan assemblies?
That's right. And nothing will be done.
Nothing will be done. Do you know that if they want to take action right now,
this is the building I wanted to talk about. Melcom.
Yes.
Achimota. A lot of Ghanaians died. Nothing has happened up to date. You saw how many people who were underground died.
They couldn't even bring those
they couldn't evacuate them.
Yes.
They had to. I'm told they wanted to go and bring some Israelis to come and help us.
Look at that.
People up.
Now that you are.
But somebody is involved, and that person should have been surcharged, prosecuted, and suffer for the negligence. Yet, everybody is walking free.
Everybody. What is wrong with us?
We are sick.
So, see, if right now they want to take action, a lot of buildings will be collapsed in this country.
How can you collapse?
And who will be happy?
How can you collapse MP's building? How can you collapse MP, former MP, former minister, vice president, and his friends around that area? Can you bring them down? No. The powers that be will tell you stop before you find yourself in trouble. There are good people in Ghana. There are good people in Ghana. But hey, if you start, look at what they did to Domi Level.
Yeah.
Registrar General.
Just
he
recently.
Was actually, you know, by now, according to the Public Sector Act, the Auditor General has the powers to surcharge and prosecute. Are you aware? Yes. There's been an amendment. Now he can surcharge, prosecute.
Yeah.
And you will be charged. At the end of the day, look at what they did to this man. Did everything possible. All the powers that be threw the man away like something. Rollins said if you are throwing away a baby with sharp teeth, throw it together with the dirty water. But here we eat with our hands, our feet, our every part of the body. That is a typical Ghanaian holding public office. That's where the sickness starts. And today, on our media front, all we talk about is politics. And we leave those in these institutions who are not doing the needful to go ahead and do it.
Attorney.
Yes, sir.
Do you know something?
So, remember I told him that if per what he's saying, is the only procedure to acquire the permit. And after acquiring the permit, this is the next step you have to take or undertake before you can put up, especially when he was talking about the traffic areas, those traffic prone areas. If you're putting up a building because of the pressure there, because there are a lot of cars moving to and fro. So if you are building close to a traffic prone area, even the iron rods you use must be of good quality. The cement,
he
the
even
sand,
mentioned the type of
sand.
cement you are supposed to use, the iron rods and all that.
Exactly.
Those things we don't have.
People buy cement and we don't care what was used for the cement.
Yes.
To an ordinary person, me, I just want cement. I have it. That's
it. I don't know.
Who will educate the uneducated?
And it seems even with this comment from the Chamber of Commerce, they are not, they don't bother. You can see he's thanking you for you taking action, doing the education right now. They don't care. See,
these are issues they will trivialize it because at the end of the day, man must chop.
Yes,
chop.
So
they will chop. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's all. Kangaroo tactics.
Attorney, I'm ending. And I'm ending with this note. Attorney.
Yes, sir.
The AMA, the district assemblies, they are lazy, one. They are careless, two. And they are wicked. There is one day for them.
There's one day for them. So who educates the uneducated? Who educates the ignorant? The police officers always say that ignorance of the law is no excuse. Take that same law to the assemblies, MMDCs, Komoho. Sambrana yamode chichi innocent Ghanaians. Munko hona munko chichi. Arrest them, put them before court. Let the court try them. If they have to face the consequences, let them face it. Ghanaians and emotions. We're in this country. Opuni's case came. The CEO, the former CEO of a cocoa board, NDC men and women ransacked the court, chanting, booing in the law court, saying release Opuni now. You see, sometimes when they are doing these things, very soon you have an association, Free Santos, Operation Free Santos. Have you seen some before?
A lot in this
Free
country.
Opuni, Wyoming. Where is Wyoming?
Amachedi.
God help us. I came, I saw, and I conquered. This is where we draw the curtains on Mpɔtam morning show. Have a blessed weekend. The name remains Papa Law Perfect, Madam Gifty. Anna, God bless you. Thank you for being part of this great team. My co-host, David Santos, the only Brazilian who controls Brazil, but he's in Ghana. Thank you very much for your submissions. Well endowed and deep submissions. My producer, Jude GH, and you, the listener and the viewer, God bless you. Those who shared, God keep you and protect you. I salute everyone who came on the line. On my own behalf, and on behalf of Papa Law Media, we say God bless everybody. Staff and management of Papa Law Radio. Thumbs up. I equal to everyone. Nana Banan on your radio for our mid-morning brew, and enjoy our midday news as well. And Cheselina will be on your radio for Pilolo P
Lolo
P
Lolo.
All right, so God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. When you say a prayer, say one for me too. I'm out.